Okay. Alright. I'm opening this stream up, assuming that you are watching the VOD. Because as of right now, I'm fully expecting this stream to get 0 viewers. Because I'm streaming at a random time on a Wednesday at like noon my time, right? Like, why the fuck would I ever stream at this time? And there is a specific reason. It's because we all gotta start somewhere. I'm trying to make this my normal streaming time. I don't know how well it'll work out, right? The best way to know if it'll work is to actually just fucking try it, right? So that's what this is. Or I don't know, I'm trying a different time, seeing how people appreciate it over time. You know, I'm not going to just quit after the first stream. That's something that I'm really bad with, but I'm basically treating this stream right now like I'm recording an episode of the Monster Mash. Yeah, remember the Monster Mash? I certainly don't. So yeah, this is just gonna be another one of my many experiments of things that I'm gonna try to do. Yeah, you never know. You never know. Or at least I never know. Because of rampant ADHD, rampant unmedicated ADHD, really. So I have no idea how well this stream time will work. I'll have no idea if, you know, classic Monster Hunter is something that people want to watch, but you know, we all gotta start somewhere. So that's why I'm assuming you, dear viewer, if you are hearing my words right now, you're watching the VOD, which is fine. We like our VOD watchers here. I appreciate that you're here. If you are a VOD watcher, let me know in the comments, because yeah, it's difficult for me to, how do I say this? I want to make content that's like that's watchable in a way, but is still like gratifying to me as a creator. You know, and the common thread is like, oh, you should just make stuff for you and people will follow eventually. And it's like, yeah, with streams it's different. With streams it's different. For videos, I can just kind of do whatever the fuck I want, and people might watch, people won't watch, whatever. But for live streams, it's an entirely different type of content. Normally, I would just be doing this with recording. Let me actually get the game set up so that way we're not just sitting here looking at a blank screen. Here we go. Let's get the game going. Set this up there. All right. Here we go. Gaming. I really hope the audio is good. Down to -20. That might be a bit too loud now that I think about it. I mean, the audio in this game is, like, wildly out of balance. I don't know. -20 seems to usually be fine for games like these when I'm editing. So we'll just see. We'll just see. And, here. I will actually... You don't see any of this. You don't see any of this. Don't worry. Don't... Shush, 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 shush. We'll turn this down by, like, 15%. What's the decibel meter there? -30? Well... Maybe -10. Maybe get it down to, like, -25 at its peak. Maybe that would be good. I already have a character set aside. I'm just gonna go with this because, like, I don't care. I already made the character. We don't need to worry about that. But anyway, yes. We're back to playing Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. Reason being is because I really want to get back into this game with some buds. I'm actually in a VC by myself right now. Maybe said buds will show up, maybe they won't. I don't really care. Or I don't really know. I do care, but I don't know. But we're getting back into Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate because some of my friends have voiced their want to get into this game. And I kind of want to be the first one to actually start playing the game, get a couple armor sets laid out, and then that way we can just go into the game with me and my friends, and we can get them armor sets going and everything, and yada, 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 yada. I also just kind of want to go through this game again, really. Because I've been playing Wilds, I've been playing World a lot the past couple of years, Rise also occasionally, not really. And I fucking hate. Like, Iceborne and Beyond, I'm just not a fan of in Monster Hunter. So, I want to go back a little bit to a version of Monster Hunter that's still old school, still has a little bit of that quality of life stuff they added, going back in time just a bit, but also I feel like Generations Ultimate is a good balance. You know what I mean? It's also the easiest to like get going. So if you're the kind of person who just wants to pick up a game and start playing it, this is available on Switch. Obviously, I'm not playing this game on Switch right now, but it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I will claim my bonuses. I do have all of the DLC. I managed to get all the DLC. So I've got some DLC stuff, but I'm not going to get all the item packs. I think what I might do is I might get the item packs, like, as I go up in Hunter rank, maybe. I don't fucking know. But whatever. We're gonna change my art style. I was already on alchemy. That's so fucking funny. What did I want to play this game? I think what I want to do is, because I want to get both the Gunner set and the Blade Master set, because I want to play more Gunner stuff in this version, in this like game, because I haven't really done that much gun stuff. Obviously, Hunting Horn is like my bread and butter. That's what I really like. But getting back into Switch Axe, oh dude, Switch Axe in GU is so much fucking fun. Valor Greatsword, Valor Longsword too. I know it's kind of like the start of the parry-centric hellscape that Monster Hunter is right now, but Valor Longsword is still fun. I want to try getting into weapons that I don't normally play. I hear Alchemy Gunlance is fucking goated, and I want to try that out because I really like Alchemy style. I think for right now, I'm going to go with bow, and I'm going to do adept style. I feel like adept style bow might be where it's at. Yeah, that should be fine. So, the obvious question is, what do I mean in this VOD of this stream? What do I mean the meta build? I'm getting Booja Booja Boo. If you're familiar with Generations Ultimate, you're probably familiar with the meta set where you can get Attack Up XL like 10 minutes into low rank, and that can carry you throughout all of low rank and really some of high rank too. And I'm just gonna fucking focus on getting that and just have those, just so that I can have an armor set through all of low rank. And I don't really, because look, I don't want to put a whole lot of time and effort into low rank armor sets when I don't need to. You know what I mean? So we're just gonna get those. Get into high rank, I'll start making some more armor sets here and there, but I'm not gonna focus too hard. And I think the main one I want to focus on is, I think Shogun Sianatar is only available in G rank. Shogi Seni was really good, had really fucking good armor sets early on. So I might do that one. Tetsukabra, obviously. I want to focus more on weapons in low rank and high rank, really, because that's what's gonna carry over easier into the future ranks. So, yeah, focus most of my attention on getting weapons done. Have one armor set to carry me through low rank. I feel like that's like not efficient, but just the way for me to keep my sanity with my ADHD fucking flinging me all over the place and trying to keep myself in check with that. The Gormyu chef is the greatest, and I fucking love him. Got a chance to hunt with your friends yet? Well, I mean, we'll get to that later on, hopefully. Yeah, he's just talking about all this. Oh, and this is the arena. Oh, the arena. I don't know. Maybe we'll do some arena stuff. I don't know. I'll have to talk with my friends about that, because there's some interesting ones in here. Oh, and the Prowler stuff. I forgot about Prowler stuff, dude. Oh, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be really fun. So, obviously, I mean, we know how quests work. At least I know how quests work. If you don't know how quests work, sorry. You can figure it out as we continue to play the game. Now, who am I hunting? I need Bulldrome. Bulldrome and Jaggy. Also, it seems like there is a bit of lag on my audio. I don't quite know what's up with that. I might try restarting my game real fast just to fix that, because that's gonna really fucking annoy me. Yeah, I'm just gonna try restarting real fast. See, normally when I'm recording a video, I'll go into editing and I will cut this part out, but I can't do that here because this is a live stream. You don't see this. You don't see this. You don't see this. Yes. You don't see this. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't fucking worry about it, okay? We're not emulating. If Nintendo comes a knocking, shut up. Okay, the audio got fixed. There were a couple of lag spikes I noticed, and I'm curious as to why. It says that my GPU is barely being used and my CPU is kind of going crazy, so maybe the game is doing some... Maybe my Nintendo Switch is using my CPU more than my GPU, so I'll probably have to look into that. But what do I need? I need to hunt Great Jag, or sorry, I need to hunt, because there is no Great Jaggy in this game. I need to hunt Jaggy, and I need to hunt Bull Drone. So here, let's just start off with Jaggy. Here we go, the Jaggy Junket. Perfect. I don't have any items, I just realized, but I can gather them. I can pick them up from my box. Order a meal. What do I even have? But nothing. Foodie, Game Changer, Combiner, Strong Cat, Weakener, Rider. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Cool. I have a little bit of stuff. I'm not gonna sell any of these eggs yet. I'm gonna hold on to these. Okay, I've got some potions. Some life powders. Okay, I will take these. How many of them do I have? 20 of each. I don't think I really need any. It's just Jaggy. Like, I'll be fine. The main thing right now is I want to gather up herbs, mushrooms, honey. Herbs, mushrooms, honey. Maybe some ore. I don't know yet. We'll see. Okay, cool. You know what? Let's take... I just realized I'm using bows, so I have coatings now. I have to worry about my ammo. So you know what? Let's just gather all of the fucking gunner stuff that's at the beginning. Why not? I remember there being bugs that I needed, so we might as well just gather up the bugs. Yeah, this is gonna be a slow beginning, and this is partially why I decided to stream this and kind of have this be like a slow going kind of vibe, where like I said, I'm treating this more like an episode of the Monster Mash. I might bring up some stuff. I mean, if anyone actually does show up in chat, that'd be cool, but I'm not exactly... Okay, I actually can't hit these fucking Jaggy. Here, whoa. Okay, I have to get used to bow. Okay, A is this one. Oh yeah, my stamina. Oh shit, I have to also like gather up stuff to make stamina pots. Can I just, if I'm like, no. There we go. I could poison them. Would that help at all? I don't know. Okay, I got one. Maybe picking, I didn't. Maybe picking bow for the small monster shitter quest was a bad idea. Maybe I'll switch that around for the next quest, and I'll bring in, like, I don't know, longsword. I'll try Valor Longsword. Why not? Or maybe I'll just bring in, like, or Striker style. I don't know. Part of the other thing that I want to do with this game is, with Monster Hunter in general, like, I have my specific weapon, and in this game in particular, I have my style. and I really, really want to get into new styles. I want to see what Striker is about. Because Striker is there to allow you to use more hunting arts. And the hunting arts in this game are pretty good. I remember when I was playing this game on 3DS, because I played this fucking game as the 3DS version, Generations. I played Generations 1, like the original. And Striker... Whoop, nice, I got him. Striker Charge Blade was fucking awesome. Like, Striker Charge Blade was great. It was Striker Charge Blade. It was Striker Switch Axe was also fun because you could get the infinite combo, the infinite power-up combo with certain Hunter arts, and you had to have 3. It was either you had to have 3 or you had to have 2. I actually don't know. Well, okay, well, no, actually, because Alchemy Style lets you have 3 Hunter arts, so maybe it doesn't matter. Is Alchemy Style just a better Striker style? You would think not. I guess it really depends on the weapon, right? It depends on the weapon and what you're trying to do with it. So, like, if you really want to focus on those Hunter arts in specific, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe Striker Charge Blade would be where it's at. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, after I inevitably die to these fucking Jaggy. I don't even know what we need for Boo now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, Aaron just joined in the Gay Goon Abyss. Oh, you pulled me into the Gay Goon Abyss. Why would you do this to me?
Because.
I'm gaming, bro. What do you mean?
But you could be gooning.
I could be. I mean, I shouldn't really be gooning on stream, though.
Oh, you're streaming.
I am actively streaming right now. I have my streamer voice on.
That makes that even funnier.
Indeed, it does. I think it's funny. Okay. I explained this in the opening like monologue, I guess. Well, this whole stream is a monologue. Fucking nobody's watching this, by the way. I'm trying to make this particular time slot to be my time to stream, because Wednesdays are like the days that I'm like free from a lot of stuff. But we have movie nights on Wednesdays, so it's like, oh, if I stream in the afternoon and then be done with the stream by the time of movie night, that could work out, you know? I don't know. I'm playing Generations Ultimate, by the way.
Yeah, I just pulled it up.
Oh, okay.
I believe I am the one person watching right now.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. That's what we're here to see. Oh, wow. Oh, you saw that too. I was trying to test the text overlay. My fucking chat text overlay on my stream just isn't working right now, and that's like a browser source issue. I don't know what's going on with that. I'll fix that another time. But yeah, we're trying right now. I'm trying to get the Boo armor set, just to have an armor set for low rank. You know what I'm talking about when I say that?
Not really. I played a little bit of GU, but I also played it like a crazy person, where I was like, I'm gonna see how far I can get without upgrading anything.
You are crazy. You do that. You did that with Freedom Unite also.
And I will have you know that hunt where the Glavenus shows up? I hunted the Glavenus in that hunt.
Close the door. So you got all the way to Glavenus without upgrading anything?
Well, so there's a hunt where he shows up in it. It's sort of like the Freedom Unite one.
Give me 1 second. Sorry. Hold on. Sorry about that. Someone just walked in my room. They were asking me a question. Anyway, say that one more time.
It's like the one in Freedom Unite where you like have to go hunt popos and then.
Oh wait, where Tigrex shows up?
Yeah, there's one of those in GU as well.
Yeah, that's the Glavenus hunt.
There. Yeah, I did that hunt, full starter gear. It took almost the full amount of time.
That's hilarious.
But I did it. Carded twice, but I did it.
That's fucking
he
hilarious.
Basically one-shots you.
Oh yeah, of course he does. You're in beginner gear.
Greatsword is broken as fuck.
Yes, it is. That's what I'm assuming. Whenever, if I ever get Zabe to start playing this, I feel like Valor Greatsword is going to be where, either Valor or Adept Greatsword is where he's going to have the most fun.
Yeah, Depth, I messed around with the Depth a little bit too. I found Valor was a little more fun, but maybe like, because again, this is like right at the start. You don't actually have a lot of the abilities and stuff yet.
No, yeah. Because right now I am Adept Bow, and I feel like I shouldn't have brought Bow for the Jaggy Shitter quest.
Yeah, that's Bow is notoriously not very good for small enemies unless you have a spread bow.
Yeah, and this is not spread.
I can tell. It looks like it's rapid.
Yeah. You know what? Here, let me...
Funny, I didn't play Bow at all in World, and then I remember we were like, I think it was Abby was trying to just pick up Bow, and I was like, yeah, make sure you get one with the right ammo types, and turns out they just didn't exist in World, and I didn't know that.
They don't?
Apparently not.
What? Like spread and rapid and all that stuff, it just doesn't exist in World? I played Bow in World. What do you mean?
Is there just not... maybe I'm remembering stuff wrong. Yeah, there's just rapid shot and power shot. There's no, like, spread, pierce. They just have, like, variations of each one within the Bow moveset.
Huh. Was that was that also a thing in Rise? Because I played Bow a lot in Rise.
Them.
Okay.
Rise had them.
Maybe that's where I'm getting confused.
Yeah. Because I also played a bunch of Bow in Rise because they had the like close-up coding being unlimited was really fun.
Yeah.
And I had like I made a set that was just Bow with the Seregios set effect where
oh my god
close coding if you dodge.
Yeah.
And it was basically a melee bow set.
Oh yeah, that's what I did.
Melee with the arrow.
Because you would have the dodge that would like give you invincibility, and you would be able to just dodge through stuff.
Wait, no. What was there was one that gave you extra invincibility and charged you up a stage, and there was another one that if you dodged an attack, you would also attack at the same time.
Yeah,
would, like,
that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I was basically playing with that. It was a lot of fun. It was also not how you play Bow normally.
No, not at all. Oh, hi, Arzuros.
So this is still like HR1 then.
This is the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Like, I just started up my character, like, right now. So, because... go ahead.
I was just going to say, I haven't gotten this set up on my computer yet. I was playing on my Switch.
Right.
A few years ago was the last time I played GU. So.
Right. If you want, we can get that set up after the stream before, like, movie night starts.
Yeah, I mean, I can get it set up. I mean, the only thing that I'd have to do is how we're going to do the online. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure I think it's a different emulator than... It's not Citra or whatever. It's a different
no. Citra's 3DS and Citra is hella dead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure that project died, and...
Yeah, a new one has shown up, so, like, there's options now. Yeah, we're using Ryujinx for this one. I can send you a link later if you want.
Yeah, I can get it set up at some point.
This is painful. Also, I have a weird problem right now where my audio is, like, lagging behind really badly, and I think it happens whenever I open up my, Windows key menu. So right now, the audio is just completely lagging behind the video, and I can't fix it without restarting the emulator. So I'm just being annoyed right now while I'm doing this. I'm also being annoyed because it's Bow, and I fucking hate this. I said to myself, oh yeah, I'm gonna use Bow, it'll be fun, and then I picked the small monster quest. I'm like, well.
Oh yeah, it is so lagged. I just, like, opened the audio on their stream, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's very bad. It's very, very bad. I'm also noticing that it seems like a lot of the emulator seems to be using more of my CPU than my GPU, which makes sense, but I wonder if there's a setting that I can do to change that. I don't know.
Maybe? I don't know.
I'll have to dig into the menus a bit. Oh, Arzuros saw me. He didn't see me before. I just, I don't want to deal with that right now.
There's no eye, but...
Wait, what happened?
He wasn't looking at... He saw you, but... Oh, there you go. Now he's aggroed.
Yeah.
Because you're like, he saw me, but there was no eye on your character, so he hadn't actually seen you yet. He was just...
Yeah.
doing,
What?
like,
You're
these-
like 30 seconds behind on the stream, probably.
Oh, you know what? That is true.
Yeah.
I am. That's probably why. I gotta stop looking at your stream for live reference.
Yeah, right. I mean, I don't know. Part of me is tempted to start streaming on Discord, but that would just use even more of my CPU, and I don't.
Oh, you don't need to. I'm probably not really going to watch your gameplay.
That's fine. You're just here for moral support.
I'm doing some data entry at the moment.
Yay! I love data entry. Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck the sub quest with the Jaggia. I'm just gonna get the regular Jaggy, and I'm just gonna end this quest. Because I need to figure out what's causing the audio to lag behind and how to, like, resynchronize that. I might just figure that out off stream. Would probably be the best way to do that. See, I said at the beginning of the stream that I'm treating this more like I'm recording a video rather than doing a live stream. But the issue with that is that when I'm recording a video, I can just, like, shut up for, like, 20 minutes while I just grind and speed it up in editing. But now it's like, this is a completely different fucking headspace you gotta be in for this. I did get free poison coatings, and I might have to use them. I have to use fucking poison coatings on Jaggy. Oh, that's fucking funny.
Is that even gonna do anything? Like, I feel like by the time you trigger the, I mean, I don't know how they're poison procs and stuff. Cause
I don't know.
I don't think anyone really does that for small monsters.
I don't know, man.
Like, I don't know if that data exists, but
I'm sure the data exists somewhere. It's just no one ever looks at it or cares.
no,
to, like...
exactly. It's like it exists, but it's like, has anyone actually done the testing? I'm sure it's been data mined, so people probably have values, but it's like,
oh my god, it's so behind. That's crazy. Oh my god. Okay, god damn it. I should also explain that the armor set that I'm going for specifically is... Because you said you weren't familiar with the Booja Booja Boo armor set. It's Attack Up XL. Like, if you set it up right, you can get Attack Up XL, like, 10 minutes into the game.
yeah, that's always nice.
Yeah.
It's like the, what was it? There's basically one of those in every game where it's like it's like an early game set that's really good. I think for you it was the fucking Velocidrome set.
The Velocidrome set was really good,
Yeah.
but the mix set was Tetsukabra legs, Gormagala parts.
Well, yeah, you had to get the Gormagala for that. The Velocidrome was like you could do that right at the beginning.
Yeah, I know I did that when I started playing For You a few years ago. Yeah, a very, very good set.
There was a mixed Rathalos Senator, how do I fucking pronounce that fucking guy's name, in Freedom Unite that was really good for early hard mode, or high rank hard mode.
Okay.
Terraria brain there.
Hard
Early-
mode. Have you been playing the new update or nah?
I haven't touched it yet, but
I mean, okay. It is a relatively small update compared to 1.4.4, but, you know, it's still good to go back in and, like, see the new stuff, you know? Especially for summoners, because, like, there's a bunch of new whips and stuff, and they're pretty fun. They're pretty fun.
I know that's the problem is the last playthrough I did was a summoner playthrough, so I'm like, I don't want to go back and do another summoner run, even though it's a little different. I mean, they did get rid of whip stacking, which means it's a lot less annoying to do.
Yes, actually. You know what's
optimized
funny?
Summoner,
I started
but-
playing, and I was doing whip stacking, and I'm like, wait, it's not really feeling like I'm doing more damage. And then I looked into it, and it's like, yeah, they removed whip stacking. I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Which is a nice change. Then they added in also actual summoning reforges as opposed to making them all fucking like demonic or whatever.
It was
just
ruthless.
For the slight damaging. Or it was ruthless, yeah.
Yeah, it was ruthless because it would reduce the amount of mana it would cast to summon. But now summons don't cost mana to summon.
Yeah, I mean that was such an inconsequential part of it anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, now it's good. I think the new reforges are like, you get better tag damage on whips and a few other things. I don't know. The new reforges are pretty good. But yeah, I haven't really touched any of the new Dead Cells content either, or any of the new Pal World collab stuff, because I just got into hard mode on that playthrough. So I'm kind of just going at a snail's pace, really. But it's been good. It's been good. Oh shit, someone's actually showed up for the stream. Hello. welcome to 12 p.m. Monster Hunter. We're killing Jaggy with a bow because I'm dumb.
A bow that 90% of your shots go over the Jaggy, so you can't even hit them.
Yeah, I came into this quest and I'm like, oh, the shots are going directly over the Jaggy's head. Oh, awesome. Oh, well. Okay, motherfucker, come on. Oh yeah, well, whenever you do get this set up, we do have all of the DLC, which means we also have all the DLC item packs. I am not going to be using them.
Yeah, that's just like, if we want to blitz the early game, they're useful. Otherwise, they're... I mean, that's kind of what they were for, right?
Right. I did get a couple of them just to give me a little bit of a boost. It just gives you a few potions. The main thing is just to get, like, I think it was 20 slick axes. Those are super useful, especially in the early game. I would rather have those than... I'd rather have, like, 20 of those plus a few other items than none at all. You know what I mean? Oh, Arzuros. No. He's seen me again. But, oh yeah, and we'll also have all of the DLC like event quests and everything. So all the armor with that will be good.
There are some cool ones. I remember Generations was when they used to do like those fun, wacky. Before they stopped, they really didn't do much. I mean, they did some, I guess. They had like Dante and shit in the world. There weren't nearly as many.
Yeah, World they really slowed down with that.
I think Rise has.
Rise has a couple, but they're only like Capcom
yeah,
collab stuff. Like you can get Amaterasu Okami. That's about it, and you can play as a Kuma. That's another one. In this one, you have Dark Magician cat armor. Like,
yeah,
like that's super good. Oh, and you can play as the cat. I keep forgetting that you can play as the cats in this one.
Oh my god, I forgot about fucking, was it
Prowler mode? Yes.
Yeah.
All right, fuck this quest. Get me out of here. I want to reset my goddamn audio lag and fix that. Arzuros, what are you doing? And there's a ton of monsters. How many monsters are in this one? 96, I think?
Yeah, I think it's the one with the most, at least, other than Frontier. But Frontier,
well, Frontier,
really
yeah. Frontier is its own thing. You don't see this menu. You don't see this menu. Don't worry about it. Nope, you don't see it.
We actually don't see the menu, just FYI.
Yes, you do.
Oh, I guess, right, I'm like 30 seconds delayed.
Yeah. Oops. There is the Sonic
one
in
there is
Rise.
Sonic, that's true.
Oh, yeah,
Sonic
that's so true.
That is true. I did forget about Sonic.
As you often do.
Might have been forced to forget about Sonic. Probably did that on purpose.
Why would you want to forget about Sonic, bro? Ah, whatever. I'm turning you up because you're really quiet on my end. I don't know. Whatever. Just put that in. Send all items to item box. Yep. Save my progress.
Failing to get a secure connection to fucking .gov. What is going on
to
here?
.gov. Okay, good. It did save. It saves after every quest in this one, right? I think I just saw it save. Yeah.
Again, I didn't. This is probably one of the ones I played the least, just because I got my Switch, played this game for a bit, and then got Rise on my Switch, and then mostly just played Rise.
Yeah.
And then Rise came out on PC, and I kind of just stopped using my Switch.
No, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Is the audio still
partially
lag?
because it's just like, I stopped. When I got the Switch, we had like a family online service that we were paying for, and then we all just kind of weren't using it, so we stopped using that. And it's like, I'm not gonna play these games on my Switch. One, it's just lower frame rate, less good graphics. Not that mattered. I always had my game set to the literal lowest graphics because I think it looks better. But
yeah. Is this Linux? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Good eye.
Unfortunately, yes, it is.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Aaron.
Unfortunately for us trying to play games together multiplayer.
The only games we have problems with are the ones with the anti-cheat. We would have had
a couple of them.
we would have had the same fucking issues with Terraria if I was on Windows. I don't want to fucking hear it from you.
I'm not blaming you for the only thing I'm blaming you for Terraria with is you tried to get us to play that fucking mod pack with like 80 fucking mods in it.
Yeah, okay. Yes. It was a bit ambitious. Did you see the Calamity mod is getting an update soon?
I did see that.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's not the Sunken Sea update.
It's not. They're still working on it.
Did look interesting. It looks like they kind of ported some of the Infernum mechanics to the
A little bit.
Which isn't bad. I mean, a lot of the pre-hard mode Infernum fights are quite good.
Yeah, Infernum does a lot of really cool stuff. I think my favorite version of Skeletron is Infernum Skeletron.
Yes and no. Some of his moves are a little annoying, but
I'd rather it just be a bullet hell, you know? The rest of the game is just a bullet hell when you get to, like...
That's true.
End game Calamity. What distro? I am currently running CashOS. I've run a few different distros on this PC, but I prefer to have something Arch-based on my editing streaming rig. On my other rig outside, I've got in the other room. Yeah, it's just sitting outside. That one's running Bazite, and then I have another like small form factor one that I think I put CashOS on as well. I forget. I don't know. I've got a bunch of old rigs just sitting around that I'm just throwing shit on and seeing what sticks, you know. Bazite's cool though. I really enjoyed what I got with Bazite. And it generally is the one that I recommend for people who are just getting into it. I say that as Aaron has floated the idea of maybe looking into it. So I say just go with Bazite because it's easy.
I mean, I'm just going to have to in a bit. Like I'm in the process of setting up. Like I got a new laptop so that I can actually just do my like work that requires the like Outlook, Windows 365, or I guess it's literally just called Windows Copilot now.
It is. They changed it to the Copilot app.
Which, unfortunately, I do need those to run reasonably well, so I can't just switch my main computer to Linux right now. But
that's fair.
Also, my main computer can't switch to Windows 11 without hacking it. And so it's running Windows 10 right now, which is still... You can still get security updates. You just have to do them all manually. But it is still technically getting them for another year. Thank you, EU. But
yeah, right.
Unfortunately, yeah. Once I'm in the process of switching over, and once that laptop is set up properly and everything, mostly once I have a space to work on it set up, I'm gonna switch this one to some form of Linux.
Fuck. Where do you get disk stones again? Hold on.
Man, I don't remember.
I
feel like you just got them from mining.
I have the app. Hold on.
Yeah, the GU companion app.
Yes, I do.
Thing's great.
Location. The Verdant Hills. If you mine in the Verdant Hills, or the Arctic Ridge, the Marshlands, or the Volcano, you can get them. I think the only one Oh no, I have Arctic Ridge. I'm gonna go with Verdant Hills, just because I don't want to have to deal with hot drinks right now.
I think it gives you free, like, a couple in the thing, but
yeah,
maybe not in the Harvest Tour. Because you're still low rank, so you still get stuff given to you.
Exactly. Yeah, we're going gathering, because I also need shiny beetles. Where do I get those again? Do I please tell me I get them in Forest and Hills? Thank God I get them in Forest and Hills. All right. Oh no, you don't get jack shit during harvest quests. Awesome. That's fine. I'll just deal.
It makes sense. Otherwise, you can just jump in, grab free stuff, leave, jump in. Oh wait, this game doesn't have contract fees anymore, do they? They got rid of that, I think.
I think it still does. I think this game was the last game with contract fees.
I remember getting into situations where you just like, upgrade a bunch of gear, upgrade all your armor, make some weapons, and then you go to do a hunt, and you're like, I don't have enough money.
Oh yeah, I've run into that, dude. Freedom Unite was
like,
bad
oh,
with
shit.
that.
Oh yeah, because some of those hunts were expensive.
Yeah, especially for early game too.
And then it's like, if you fail it, you just don't get any money, and you lose the contract fee. You're just
You
like,
lose the
shit.
fee, you lose all the items that you used during that quest. It was bad. Like, I was watching a video of this guy playing through DOS, and he was saying
DOS was exceptionally bad. They fixed a lot of stuff.
I wouldn't say it was bad. It was very much like they're going for a vibe,
Yeah, I guess bad is the wrong term. It was
Yeah.
much more punishing.
There you go. That's the right word. Punishing. He was saying that if he double carded in a quest, if he was at that point, because he got to that point a few times where he just didn't have any money, because in DOS especially, money is like a constant issue. If he double carded during a quest, he would just decide to just abandon. And just, even if he was like 40 minutes into a quest, it was better to abandon and not lose everything than to run the risk of carding a third time and losing everything.
Yeah, because if you abandon, you basically get all the supplies you used back.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah. I remember doing money quest runs where there's like specific quests where they reward you like a good amount of money, but also like the like silver and gold eggs as rewards potentially. They're mostly like event quests.
Oh, okay.
I think Freedom Unite had one where you had to go kill a bunch of Gajalakas in the small arena zone.
Fucking
And it was like
Gajalakas.
really fast. If you just had a longsword, you could just go in and like you do it in like a minute. And it could give you gold eggs as a reward, and you would just do runs of that hunt over and over again.
Just to grind up money.
Just to get money.
Hey, man, whatever you gotta do. Whatever you gotta do. Man.
And then money becomes such a non-issue in the later ends of the newer games.
Oh, dude, money is a non-issue in the beginning of this game, because you can, if you decide to get all of the item packs.
Item packs. One of
Yeah.
them has like 100 gold eggs in it or something.
It's not gold eggs, it's platinum eggs.
All right, platinum eggs, right? That sell for like 50K or something.
Yeah, if you sell all of the eggs they give you at the beginning, you will lose money, because you'll go to the max amount of money. The value you get out of those is more than the max your wallet can hold.
Yeah. I mean, that's partially also because the end game of this is really expensive, isn't it? When you start getting to like the EX stuff, what is it?
Oh yeah, and
What's
you
the
start.
end game of this called?
It's G rank, but then there's like deviant stuff, and then there's
Yes, the deviants. That's what it was. I was
Yeah.
trying to think of the word. Yeah, once you get into the deviant monster gear and stuff, where there's like 9 ranks to each one, and upgrading
Oh,
those.
there were 9 ranks in the high rank ones, but in G rank they narrowed it down to 5.
Okay.
So in
Still
G rank it's a
probably
little
very
bit
expensive.
easier. Yeah.
Still a better system than the fucking Y stones. My God, that was what made me stop playing for you. Was just
You don't like the
I
Y
don't want to
stones?
deal with these. It's just a thing you have to use every minute.
Yeah.
And you have to use it. You can't just be like, I don't feel like it. No, you have to.
You have to, yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, whatever.
Also, because the deviant monsters were cool as shit.
Deviant monsters are super cool.
Even if they were potentially ridiculously annoying. Bloodbath Diablos.
I have never fought Bloodbath Diablos, so I am excited to see what that's like.
It's Diablos, but worse.
I hear. I've seen footage of him. He looks tough. Okay. Maybe Greatsword was also a bad choice for dealing with small monsters.
Oh, you just gotta use the like horizontal sweeps and stuff.
I don't... Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, I can use them. Oh my god, the audio is doing that thing again. I don't know why it's doing that. Why does the audio get desynced? Okay, there we go. Now I fucking got Valor style, baby. Valor dodge into sweep. Valor dodge into sweep. Oh, that's fucking funny. I just become a Beyblade.
The Valor dashing was so strong on Greatsword.
Oh,
it's just like you get a lot of movement in the newer games, like Rise especially.
Oh, yeah.
Even World gives you more movement with the tackle. But at this point, this is the first time Greatsword could move like this.
Oh yeah. And it was insane. But it was so much fun. Cause this is like this was like the start of your hunters being like way too wildly powerful for certain hunts. And I don't know. Maybe, because I haven't actually played the G rank of this game. Maybe my opinions will change once, like, if we ever actually get to the G rank portion of this game. But I don't know. I feel like it's fine for this one just because it's keeping a lot of that flavor that I like about Monster Hunter, where Iceborne especially, Base World was like a very good, like, Base World was a cool evolution of what they were trying to do with the older Monster Hunter games, and then in Iceborne they completely fucked that up. And they tried to make the game more like an MMO. You know what I mean?
Really? I mean, there are specific hunts that I would agree with you with, but like stuff like Guiding Lands and all that, I think was kind of fine.
Guiding Lands started off being fine, but then when they made every late game hunt take place there, that's when I started having issues with it.
Yeah, they made some choices that I think were kind of not great, but I don't think it was making it like an MMO. I think the big things with that were stuff like Sappy Jiva or some of their, like, I think the big one was them implementing arbitrary time limits and hunts that were based on damage thresholds. That was really annoying. Like Cove to Roth having, you had to do enough damage or it would run away. And it's like, why is this a thing?
Fucking hate Cove to Roth.
The arbitrary damage and Elatrion, the like kind of damage gating. That was just a really heavy-handed way of them trying to address the fact that everyone was just using raw weapons because they were just better. Like, it was literally better to use raw than to use element on every weapon except, I think, bow and dual blades. Like, it was just better. And so they were like, oh, you gotta make people use elemental damage, and because, unfortunately, the way the game was made, and, like, the way that stuff worked, they couldn't really make it just really big elemental weak hit zones. Maybe they could have, but
I don't remember.
I don't know. It just felt like a heavy-handed way of doing it, but like
it felt like a big band-aid fix. You know,
the issue with Iceborne wasn't they tried to make it an MMO. It was the clutch claw weakening mechanic.
Yeah, the clutch claw fucked a lot of stuff up.
Like I would have been okay with the clutch claw if it was just the wall slams. And
yeah, I can agree with that.
What they could have done is they could have, okay with the wall slams if you could only do them during the clagger where they like pant a little bit, which was like the
See, I don't like the clagger at all.
You see, well, that's the thing is, if they'd been like, if it claggers, you can wall slam it, and they tied that with the stamina mechanic, I think that would have been cool.
I can see that, where they only clagger when they're in their exhausted state.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like you basically tie it with exhaustion, right? And that's when you can wall slam a monster.
Okay, I'm more down with that.
The way they implemented it with the weakening, though, that was one of those things where when I first heard it, I was like, oh, that sounds cool. You can weaken the part of a monster. But it wasn't like, oh, you can weaken the part of a monster for the rest of the hunt, and it's like makes that hit zone slightly better. It's you have to do this every 60 seconds.
Yeah, and if you don't, and the monster health values are so bloated and inflated that if you don't do that, you're actively gimping yourself for like every hunt in the game.
They also balanced a lot of hit zones around it too, right? So and they changed certain skills, specifically weakness exploit, to interact with it, right?
Yeah.
Weakness exploit.
It was like a cool skill to being mandatory.
Well, frankly, even in base world, it was technically your highest DPS skill. It was 50% affinity.
Okay.
Because you're supposed to be hitting weak points anyways.
But then you stack that on because it wasn't that because it also stacked with the weakened parts, and Wex would count if you hit the weakened parts. Well, no, what they did is they made
Wex be like 20% on weak points and additional 30%, or maybe the other way around, on weakened points. So if you weaken it, you get that bonus, an additional bonus that brought you to the original. But that just, unfortunately, because of how important crit capping became, because it's not so much base Iceborne, but especially the later stuff like Elatrion and Fatalis, like the DPS requirements were sort of, well, I won't say, actually, I guess Elatrion had a soft DPS requirement, even if you were making the elemental checks, because you could only stop him from switching elements twice. And then you kind of were a little fucked after that point.
Right.
But Fatalis was a 30-minute hunt, which I think that's a fine way to DPS gate. Just put it on a time limit. That's normal. Like 30-minute hunts existed for a while. I like Fatalis, I think, was a really good fight. It's really hard.
But it's supposed to be. It's the final boss.
People discover gimmicks. Exactly. It's like, it's hard. Once you get the Fatalis gear and stuff, it's not that bad.
Well, yeah, once you beat the final boss, of course, it's not going to be difficult.
That brings up another problem, was you could get the gear without beating him because of the fucking cat.
Right, because of the fucking, not plucker, what's the word I'm thinking of? Plunder.
Plunder blade, yeah.
The plunder cat.
I still think that they should have gated that stuff behind actually having killed it at least once.
Yeah, because I remember doing that to get Alatreon weapons.
Yeah, it's like, I think that's another issue, but I think the big issue with World Iceborne specifically was guiding lands. Base World, it was the fucking Streamstone shit. That was annoying.
Yeah, because getting the best gear in the game, you had to fight like 3 monsters because they were the most efficient ones to do it.
Well, it was you do the you do tempered elder dragons, and that was it. You would just do tempered elder dragons over and over again.
Yes,
and it was very tedious and very boring. Yeah, and you'd get very good at doing tempered elder dragons, but none of those tempered elder dragon fights were particularly fun because it was Teostra, Kushla Daora, and who's the other one?
It was Teo, Kush, and Nurg, I think, right?
Nurg, yes. Yeah. Nurg, that's what it was.
Because there was no Chameleos for whatever reason in World.
Yeah, Chameleos didn't return till Rise.
Yep. So that trifecta of like what monster, like the trifecta of weaknesses between monsters just wasn't a thing because there was no Chameleos.
Yeah, I kind of missed that though. It was nice they brought that back in Rise. Unfortunately, it wasn't that useful in Rise. But
actually, it wasn't useful because you didn't really need to like grind for gear as hard as you did to just beat monsters, you know?
Yes and no. Endgame Rise got really hard.
Endgame base Rise?
It's not Endgame base Rise. Sorry, Endgame
Sunbreak.
Fucking Sunbreak. Got hard.
Yeah. Okay, I figure.
Like the Risen Elder Dragons and stuff, pretty tough. And like the Primordial Malzeno, who was like kind of the final boss of Rise, that's a hard fight. Like it took me a while to be able to do that fight without carding at least once.
Goddamn.
It is unfortunately a fight that is very much a Rise fight. So it's like you have to really it'd be really hard to do it without using all of the Rise movement and counter abilities and stuff because they had, unfortunately, if they're going to make a fight that is difficult given all of those things, they have to balance the access to all of those things. And that was my main issue with Rise is I found there was too many movement encounters. That was just the big issue. Every weapon had movement encounters. Yeah. And so, while they weren't all the same, to a degree they started to feel the same because you had movement encounters for every weapon. And the counters were often the best way to play them.
Right.
But I fucking loved the ability to switch around weapon movesets, though.
I think that was the coolest thing about Rise, was the switch skill system.
Yeah, because like some of them were really good in certain scenarios. Like, I really like Status and Elemental Sword and Shield. But the ongoing problem with Status and Elemental Sword and Shield is that the shield hits have never applied element or status.
They've only done blunt damage.
It's only been blunt raw.
Right.
No matter what the element or status on your weapon is, but then there was a switch skill that basically got rid of all of the shield bash attacks and replaced them with non-shield bash attacks that did a lot of small hits, which was
Okay.
really good for status and elements.
There you go. That works out.
And I was like, this is great. This leans into the playstyle I liked. I also like that Rise added a lot of ways to leverage status and stuff. Like they added, this was, again, these are things that got added in Sunbreak, which is, again, like my feelings on Rise, a lot of it come from the fact that I really liked Sunbreak. I kind of ignoring how bad Base Rise was.
Base Rise was, yeah.
Was something.
Yeah.
Rampage weapons and all that were not very good systems. And there's a reason they just decided, yeah, those didn't happen. We're going to ignore all of that in Sunbreak.
Thank God they did that, because if they, leaned in... Yeah, if they leaned into the fucking rampages in Sunbreak, I probably would have, like, if I knew before Sunbreak came out that they would lean more into the rampages, I probably would never have even touched it.
Yeah, it's like the fact that I'm glad they didn't, because it shows me that, like, hey, they realized people didn't like this. This didn't work. We don't need to do this. And then the thing I'm really annoyed about is they just ignored a lot of the stuff they did right in Rise with Wilds. And I think it comes down to the fact that I think they have that issue where they have non-overlapping dev teams. Yeah. Where, like, the dev team for World wasn't the dev team for Rise, and the dev team for Wilds isn't the dev team for Rise. It's like the dev team for World.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, Wilds is the most unlike Monster Hunter of any of the games. Like, it's kind of insane how different in a bad way. I haven't touched it yet,
mostly because it won't even, I tried to run the demo on my computer and it just wouldn't. And I'm like, okay, I guess I can't play Rise until I eventually upgrade my PC, which is probably going to be a while given the current climate of PC components.
Valid, completely valid. But also, I hear the latest performance patch that they just put out fixed a lot of those issues. I haven't tested it yet, so I don't know. But I hear it's mostly fine for now. I saw a video of people, I didn't watch this video, but I saw, like, a video pop up of, like, the thumbnail was like, oh, this game kind of runs okay on Steam Deck. And I'm like, oh, that's a big fucking deal if it runs on Steam Deck well enough. Yeah, I just, even if they fixed all the performance issues with Wilds, I still would probably not enjoy it as a Monster Hunter game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's the most monster fighter out of all of the Hunter games so far. It is so far detached from what Monster Hunter is to me that I'm just so not interested. Like I do not care. Cuz it's like clashing design choices where they make the maps fucking gigantic and they give you this big map to explore. Every single section of the game is connected. Like, you can physically walk from the desert map to the jungle map to the Arctic map. You can physically walk to all of them. And they do nothing with it because they give you a bird that takes you to the monster. There's no tracking system. There's no paintballs. There's, like, they barely use the scout flies. The only reason the scout flies exist now is to be the Dead Space 1 walking, like, show me where to go line. You know what I mean? It's just, I did not like Wilds. They also tried to, like, get you, like, oh man, there's this, like, child. What's this child about? What's his deal? Like, what, why? I don't care. I never cared about any of the characters in the game. I thought the new hunter, like, or the new handler following you around would be super interesting, and there would be some interactions with her to see, like, try to be more immersive, where it's like, oh, hey, there's this environmental interaction, or there's this item interaction, or there's this weakness that this particular monster has. No, they don't do any of that. They remove a lot of the flow of Monster Hunter games that I personally like. I know that this is a taste thing. Like, a lot of my complaints come down to, like, I just don't like the new structure of the games. But when you have a game series that has a particular structure, and you enjoy the game for the structure and how unique it is, to then remove all of that stuff to be more broadly appealing to the most gamers imaginable, it feels like a slap in the face, you know? It's fuck.
I can't comment on it because I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah,
I will eventually, fair. And then I'll let you know my opinions at that point. But
yeah,
I do know that again, that sort of comes down to the fact that World kind of started moving away from the original structure of the old games a little bit.
But they still added stuff that was like that worked with that original design concept.
No,
the tracking system was incredible.
Yeah, like the scout fly system was nice, like a little annoying, but I wish it didn't have. I wish it was a per hunt thing and it was just smoother. It was like you find tracks, you know where the monster is, done. Right? So it's like a little bit of like you have to go find tracks or something, but whatever. But that aside, like World was kind of where they started playing with things that weren't the base one. Rise really, other than the rampages, like again, Rise Sunbreak, really went back a lot to that more you're doing these hunts, but it did introduce the NPC hunters. But the thing is the way they introduced it was just like, this is a person who is going on a hunt with you. They have a weapon that is the same types of weapons you have. They hunt the monster. They can go unconscious. They use items. Sure, they had beefed up health because otherwise they would just die constantly because their AI wasn't that smart.
Yeah.
But, like, I actually didn't mind the AI hunters that much. And, like, that was how they included characters in story missions, effectively, right? They'd be like, you go do this hunt with this person. And then it was like, it let them be there, but they didn't feel like it was just this person following you around. I don't know. I was hoping they would bring that system to Wild, but then apparently they didn't. It's just not there.
No. I mean, no, the bringing along NPC hunters, it's a thing? Yeah, it's only a thing for replacing hunters. Okay, replacing multiplayer.
Okay, so it's not like like they do it for story stuff and all that. Well, actually, I think
they actually do.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Not in the base base game though. They really only do it for the Gogmazios hunt.
Okay, so they've tried it. So maybe it'll like in later stuff or in the Wilds DLC that we all know is going to happen.
Yeah.
Because that's unfortunately how they market these games, and I mean it's fine.
Yeah.
To a degree, because I mean like the way it's done, like with both with Iceborne, because I think other than the Clutch Claw, Iceborne was an improvement over Base World by far.
I don't know, because
the endgame systems were better. Like again, the Clutch Claw is the issue there, right? If they hadn't introduced the Clutch Claw,
it's just such an ever-present issue.
It is,
you know,
it is, and I mean, I am aware that being like, oh, if you ignore this huge issue, it was better, but like, it is the sense that they improved the endgame system. They improved just like the flow in group hunts, because a huge issue with group hunts was you didn't have access to a smithy, shops, your farms. You had to leave the hub every time to go do those things.
Those fixes started appearing in this game, also in Generations.
Which is funny, because then why did they do it again in World?
Yeah,
but it's like that's my big issue with a lot of Monster Hunter development, and I think partially it does come down to the fact that these games are developed by two different teams a lot of the time. I don't know how true that is, but I remember hearing that that's what happened to World and Rise. Rise was being developed simultaneously with like the second half of World by two separate teams, because what happens is they just make the same mistakes over and over again.
Yeah.
And it takes like a few times till they stop making that same mistake, and it's like, why do you keep doing this? But again, like Iceborne improved that, and Sunbreak especially fixed so many of the base issues with Rise. And like to me, it's like they wouldn't have been able to do that unless they took a year to come up with the DLC and all that stuff. I mean, maybe they could have. There's argument to be made that they could have just included all of that as a patch, but I think Sunbreak added a lot. So, like, I think it was fair for that to be a paid DLC. Because it added more than just a few hunts and, you know, a new rank.
It added a ton of new monsters and a ton of new mechanics and stuff like that. Like, that's the thing. I will never get mad at the DLCs for, like, Monster Hunter and fighting games and stuff like that. Because you see this kind of argument pop up in fighting games, too, where it's like the games are still relatively complete. This is not like... We are long past the days of Street Fighter Cross Tekken, where on-disc DLC was a common issue. Like, we're mostly past that. I like these expansions just because, like, hey, it gives them a year to refine ideas, to get feedback from the community and stuff like that. Like, I think it's mostly fine as an approach, like, structure-wise. And
so the hope is that Wilds, they're gonna fix a lot of the problems with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you did mention like I think it was you said the fundamental is just like you're no longer in like zone type hunting where you go to a region to do the hunt. Which, yeah, that is kind of a big change, big departure. From
it's like the entire game is the Guiding Lands, effectively.
Yeah, I could see that not being great, especially if you didn't really like the Guiding Lands much. I kind of actually didn't mind the Guiding Lands.
I didn't mind them,
loop
yeah.
Of just running around hunting random shit.
The reason why I didn't mind the Guiding Lands was because that was the end of the game.
Yeah,
right?
I guess that's true, right? That was the end. I guess, yeah.
So, like, having an end game area where all you're doing is just grinding up monsters, because, like, you're fully immersed in the game at that point, right? It's different from, like...
You got there, you're in it.
yeah, it's very different from, like, oh, I want to actually be a hunter. An early game monster hunter, especially the old school stuff, oh, man, like, right now, I'm getting my shit rocked to a Bullfango. A low-rank Bullfango, dude.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm watching.
Yeah. I'm also trying to learn how to play fucking Alchemy, Gunlance.
Bull Jerome, just FYI.
Oh, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Ah! My safety wall! Alright. Here we go. I'll need this. God, I need to figure out what's causing the audio to fall behind like it is.
Yeah, Alchemy was the one thing I tried messing around with, and I couldn't figure it out, really.
I am actually a big fan of Alchemy style. I think it's pretty fun. Okay, that's what this is. Huh. Okay. Well, he's tired now, so that'll help me out.
So Alchemy, like, lets you just, like, make items to use.
Yes. And then...
I guess it's just, like, you have to learn what they all do. I mean, some of them are pretty self-explanatory, like a fucking...
Yeah,
it
mostly
does flash bomb stuff, but
yeah, you get to level 3, you get the alchemy booster, and that makes your barrel charge faster, and it makes your skills charge faster. You use that stuff more, then you get into SP mode, which not only powers you up, but it powers up your whole team. Like there's layers to this shit, you know.
Yeah, that does sound like the kind of thing I wouldn't very much enjoy. I tend to like the Monster Hunter stuff where it's more I don't have to worry about other stuff. It's just I focus on just the monster and me.
I like having the extraneous bullshit. So
I don't. I hate meter management. I hate all that stuff, which is one of the reasons, like, you know, I don't like Longsword because it's a lot of meter management. I don't like. I Dual Blades isn't really.
It is and it isn't. It's more stamina management than anything.
Which is completely negated by just using stamina items.
Yeah, same with bow, really.
Well, yeah, exactly. So it's like, I don't mind stamina management because also you have stamina management in any weapon to a degree.
To a degree.
Where you especially, like, I mean, any blocking weapon has stamina management too. Especially on, like, certain monsters that will just chunk your blocks, your guard. So I never minded stamina management. I think just because it's a meter, right? It's like you have it's 1 meter to manage. It's when you have to do, like, Longsword, you have to do stamina management, you have to do your meter management. And I mean, it wasn't too complicated early on when it was just you had the 1 meter, but then, like, you started being able to do more stuff with the meter, and it started, like, they started adding to it.
I'm gonna get my shit rocked. Okay, there we go. Yeah, they did. They
like
do.
Charge Blade.
Oh, Charge Blade's fun because it's like you just. For me, I don't mind the metered management. I guess that's why I gravitated towards Hunting Horn as hard as I did, because I'm okay with dealing with whatever mechanics I have to deal with, if it means that I can have a system that is just different from what I usually use. You know what I mean? Like I value novelty over the complexity. I guess the complexity in and of itself is the novelty. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like them. I mean, I didn't even like stuff like the coding on bow.
Really?
One of the reasons I played bow and well, yeah, because it's just like I wasn't a huge fan of ammo types and stuff like that. Just I guess once they added the radial menu, it wasn't as bad. Because like I started doing that stuff in World because the radial menu let you just like you can just be like I'm just gonna add this crafting thing to my radial menu, so when I run out I just quickly craft. I don't have to open a menu, craft, and then like because I think partially it was just they added all this stuff and it was clunky. So I think that thing. I guess I don't mind meter management if it feels smooth to me. But I found like Charge Blade felt a little clunky because it's like you charge it up and then it's like if you don't store the charge in your shield, you suddenly just start bouncing off everything.
Yeah.
And like, it's kind of a little annoying. Switch Axe I didn't mind as much because it doesn't really have that. It just the sword mode is where you get a lot of your damage. So if you just don't use it, you're just not doing as much damage. But frankly, I didn't mind that too much. Also because I found the axe mode kind of fun because you had funky attack combos with it. But like Hunting Horn, like the song upkeep and stuff was I just find it really annoying, right? When you have to manage a timer effectively.
I see Hunting Horn in particular is fine for me because it's like you're not just buffing yourself, you're buffing your party members. So there's additional value.
Multiplayer is a different beast entirely. Right? Because like especially multiplayer because like what was it? I forget it was like someone did like the damage effectiveness calcs on like if you had a Hunting Horn doing their job properly in a party, and it was like it's the equivalent of adding 2 longsword users to your party.
Yeah, Hunting Horn is great.
On like the DPS increase, and this was like in Rise with like a lot because Rise had a lot of good elemental.
Yeah.
setups.
Also,
And
Rise's Hunting Horn was. I have opinions on that.
Well, this is more about the songs. This wasn't like the actual Hunting Horn users' damage output. I know that you were critical of it because it kind of made it more of like a DPS weapon.
It turned it into blunt dual blades is the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
And it lost a lot of like the strategy that you would use for Hunting Horn.
I'm talking about I don't like meter management. I'm thinking of I keep not mentioning the example that example that encapsulates it to me is Insect Glaive. I love Insect Glaive's moveset. I love how it works in terms of combat. I hate the fucking bug.
You don't like having all the essences and all that?
Yeah, it's meter management. You have to just go and get these essences, and you got to get all 3 every like minute or every couple minutes to get power prolonger and all that stuff. But it's like it's just really annoying to do. Especially on some monsters where getting some of them is really hard to get. Because like one's from the head, one's from the legs, one's from the body. Okay, well, what's the leg, head, and body on like this crab?
Yeah, you just to me, I equate that as just learning the hit zones. It's like where do you?
Yes, I know, but like some of those hit zones are really annoying to actually hit, which makes the meter management more annoying.
Okay.
And again, skill issue, obviously, but I wish Insect Glaive existed without the insect. Because, like, I love the concept of a staff that you can, like, jump up and you can jump around on, and, like, that's cool. I love that. That's awesome. Adding that verticality as a new, like, direction. It was broken as shit in 4U because they didn't actually make the monsters account for that at all.
Oh, yeah.
But
well, yeah, just mounting in general in 4U was just super broken.
And then they dealt with hitboxes in the funniest way possible by just making them go really, really vertical, which just makes stuff look really dumb when you're on top of completely above a monster and it hip checks you.
Yep.
Fucking bringing back the Freedom Unite Plesioth hitboxes.
Which is funny because for you like Plesioth wasn't in that game.
Yep.
Oh man, dude, for you Gravios.
That shit was funny.
Oh man, that shit was.
It's probably hard to find the video now, but there's like videos of people that are just like on the other side of Plesioth as it's doing its hip check in the opposite direction of them, and they get hit.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
They're like a vertical view, so you can clearly see that no part of Plesioth ever made contact with them. There's like a good like you could fit a person in between them and the Plesioth, and they still get hit.
And they reference that shit in stories.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it was one of those things where, like, you know, they realized, oh, we fucked up. But this is at a time where they couldn't exactly patch that, right? So they're just like, oh, Lesioth has really shitty hip check hitboxes now, and then
It's like, oh well.
I mean, yeah, it's become iconic, but like it was just really funny at the time. So I remember as a kid playing it,
Dude.
I'm like, man, this is so annoying. Then you go on Game Facts, and people are like,
yeah.
yeah, the hitbox is really bad. I'm like, vindicated. Other people agree with me that this is really annoying.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things at the time as a kid where I was like, this sucks, it's stupid, and then it's just skill issue.
That there is a bit of a shift in like how the mentality of people nowadays, where it's like you would see like classic Monster Hunter, and it's like, yeah, no, it's bullshit. Here's how you get around it by abusing this mechanic or doing this or doing that. But nowadays, if you say something is annoying and bullshit, it's you just get responded with skill issue, figure it out. And it's like, it's not really helpful to the situation there, bud. You can calm down there.
Though, I've seen so many people complain about stuff where it's like a skill issue.
Yeah.
Right?
I've seen that too, for sure.
Like, I get it that sometimes people are making valid criticisms about something, and then people were like, well, skill issue, deal with it. But, like, you know.
It's almost like nuance exists.
Sometimes it is skill issue. Exactly. At the end, I think the main issue is it's the death of nuance. Where.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And partially it's because people are very reactionary, right?
Well, yeah, that's just what social media has
The amount
bred.
of times that I have seen
finally, he's
on,
almost
like,
dead.
Reddit or something, which I don't use too often anymore, but like there'll be like a news article with a really inflammatory headline, and you see the comments all like, you know, raging or whatever, or like praising the headline. And then you read the article and you're like, no one read this.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Everyone here didn't read this, which means there's no room for nuance if you haven't actually interacted with the medium.
Yeah.
And I think that is also just the case in the sense where when you read someone's opinion online, you don't have necessarily room for nuance because all you're seeing is that opinion. And then you have your opinion, they have theirs, and they often differ.
Yes.
And also, it's too easy to just say skill issue, as opposed to actually,
Trying to be constructive.
It is very easy to say skill issue.
Oh, yeah, it is. God damn it, dude. I fucking hate this monster so much.
Oh, Bull Drum's the worst.
Yeah. Maybe I should. I was thinking to myself, like, oh, it's Bull Drum. I know how to fight Bull Drum. I guess I don't know how to fight Bull Drum. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah, and I'm not using the exclusive Gunlance heat meter. I forgot that was a thing in this game. Oh, for fuck's sake!
So what is the Gunlance heat meter?
So the more you use your shell, the further up the meter will go. And it actually does increase your damage the higher into the red you are. But you can go over and then blow out your damage. Oh my god, dude. And then blow out your damage. Like, it'll permanently bring you down to yellow. And it'll keep you there for a while. So it's balancing your heat with shelling. But then if you use the big fuck you explosion move, that'll bring your heat up a little bit, but then lock your heat so it won't go up or down. And it goes down over time because it's like cooling off, you know? So it's about getting yourself up to red meter. It's more meter management. I know you hate this shit. It's getting up to red. Getting your heat up to red and then using the big, like, fuck you explosion to lock it in red, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore for a little bit. Oh my god. And then I'm also adding on the additional complexity of alchemy style because I hear alchemy Gunlance is heat. So I want to try it.
I mean, yeah, I've heard some of the styles like that you wouldn't expect are super broken, and then some of them are like, you know, you would expect. Like Adept Longswords apparently busted a shit.
Oh yeah, of course.
I haven't tried it. Apparently Adept Bowgun's pretty good too.
Yeah,
but I do think the Bowgun improvements they've made
are so nice. Like the quality of life they've added to bowguns in the recent games. I don't know about Wilds again, but like Rise and World made bowguns so much more approachable.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the main thing that keeps it approachable is just removing the Gunner Blademaster armor split.
Well, yeah, that is a big thing, right? Just removing that split was huge because you can just have one set of armor. Also, I think they reduced the like. They kind of actually no, they didn't. They still have a lot of those skills, like the capacity up and like those kind of things, and they still kind of were necessary for good setups. But I think partially it comes down to the fact that they're explained better in game what they do.
Oh, it brings your heat down and then locks it. Okay. So now I just did the big fuck you explosion move, and now I'm locked on orange, which does give me it gives your blade hits, like your normal lance hits, a boost in raw.
Not your gun.
Yeah, not the gun damage. Ah, fucking finally, there we go. 30 seconds later, you'll see me kill Bulldrum.
Yeah, I'm sure. He was already doing his low health stuff.
Yeah, he was doing his low health trot. That's it. Okay, that was one of the big things I didn't like about World, was that it showed the little skull on the map. I was never a fan of that.
I was okay with it because it was technically only something you saw if you got enough search meter on them. The problem was I think they made that something that you didn't have to go out of your way to get generally. You would just kind of naturally get it as the hunt progressed. If it was something that you had to go out of your way to get, where you could get like, it's exhausted or it's, it's dying and all those things, I think that was okay. Because it would have been something that rewarded you for going out and doing a little more extra tracking. But it ended up being, if you were hunting normally, you'd get that by just breaking parts and stuff like that. So it didn't really... Or, the other issue is, again, the permanent progress on those. I didn't like that mechanic because...
From SDL to open AL. Okay, I have to switch my audio codecs. I will do that after this hunt.
That makes sense.
I'll let you know.
There's weird audio issues, tends to be a codec issue.
Tends to be a codec issue. I'll let you know about all this shit whenever you start getting going. Also, I have the mod installed where it's 60 FPS because the game normally only runs at 30.
Yeah.
So here we go. You would change it from SDL to open AL, and we'll apply that. We'll hit OK. We'll go back into the game.
Open AL.
Yes. All right.
It's weird. STL is a fucking audio codec. To me, STL means
SDL.
Stereolithography. SDL.
SDL.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with audio codecs, so.
I think it's less a codec, more a subsystem. Because a codec would be like FLAC or stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm talking out of my ass. I don't know. Let's try... I don't know. Aaron, give me a weapon.
What's one I haven't actually seen much of in this game? What's the switch axe actually like?
Oh, the switch axe in this game is incredible.
Yeah, so I was like, I might try switch axe in this game just because I feel like...
You know what?
Adept switch axe would be a lot of fun.
Not adept. Aerial switch axe.
Wait, does switch axe have a vault move in this game?
So, aerial switch axe is interesting because with the aerial style, you get that tumble over and you can jump off monsters and everything. With switch axe, if you're in sword mode, you will do a hit when you go up and when you come down. So if you're fighting a big monster like Gammoth, aerial switch axe is, and Duramboros is also in this game. So Duramboros, Gammoth, Gravios, Plesioth, all of those guys, you use aerial switch axe and you are farming mounts. It is incredible.
What are the mount mechanics in this game like? Are they just like the 4U ones?
It's basically 4U. There was a thing where if you attacked monsters in 4U while they were mounted, you run the risk of doing a little stun, and that kicks the hunter off. That's not the case anymore. If you attack the monster while someone's mounted, it will actually help them fill the mount gauge.
Okay, so they just realize, oh god, fucking talking about mounting, and I'm just like, yep, they're a repressed dislike from Rise is the fucking mount system.
Oh, I completely forgot about the monster riding. Oh my god.
Oh, I forgot about how much I disliked that whole thing.
See, I liked it at the beginning, but then you get to the end of it, you get to like the end game, and you've like run through the mechanics a bajillion times, and it's just like, oh, this is actually really annoying to deal with.
Exactly. It's like it would have been more like it's a gimmick. It's gimmicky. I think that's the issue, right? It's like it's fun for a bit, and it would have been interesting if they had it as like a mechanic you could opt into, right? Like, you know, that was like an armor skill that
I was actually gonna bring up an armor skill, like you know, the armor skill tracker, like master tracker or whatever. In the older games, that was the skill you needed to let you know when the monster is like ready to capture. If they translated that to that's how you get access to the HUD elements, where it's like, oh, the skull pops up, but only if you have the armor skill equipped. I feel like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
I like that kind of thing. I like giving you agency to get that kind of stuff.
Yes. Yeah. That's a big
because
thing.
Again, like if they had that mount mechanic stuff in Rise, but then they had like a more traditional mounting where you mount the monster, you do a modicum of damage to it, and you bring it down.
Yeah. I mean that's what it used to be.
Like, but then you could have that whole like extra thing as a thing that you could potentially like opt into doing. Like you could spend like, let's say you had, because you know you only have 2 bugs normally. You had 3 bugs on you at a time.
Yeah.
Actually, they added in Sunbreak. They added additional special ones that could have been something that interacted with one of those. Where if you had one of those special ones, you could do that. I don't know. It would have been more interesting, I think.
Oh, like you had to go out and like find the mounting bug, and then you were able to do it.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's a thing that you have to go out of your way to do, because in normal gameplay, the mounting just became annoying. To the point that the thing you would do is you would just mount the monster and then slam it immediately on the wall 3 times and knock it over, and then just take it like a normal mount. You wouldn't actually engage with the mechanic itself.
We'll do Gatherer, why not? The food system in this one is a bit interesting too. I'm just like slightly interacting with it here and there.
Oh yeah, I do like the old food system. I do think, I don't know how obtuse it is in this game. Okay, no, it tells you what it does. Okay.
Yeah, it does tell you.
Because in Freedom Unite, it did not.
It didn't. You had to guess, or you had to just know.
Or once you learn what they do. But like, yeah, I think it was meat, vegetable was like or meat, fish or something. One of them was just it gave you health up large, or like full health, stamina, and attack up large.
Yeah. That's good.
That was like the go-to one. But like, there was like, because you could eat one and it would make you sick, and you would have like less health, less stamina.
You would have no health and no stamina. But well, I don't know if this was the case in Freedom Unite, but in 4 Ultimate, you would have less health and less stamina, but you would have better luck in gathering spots at the not gathering spots, better luck in monster part drops at the end of the quest.
Okay, that's like a specific thing you could eat for.
Yeah.
This is just like, you just got no benefit. You just like ate a meal that was a bad combination. And your like, you know, you have the eating animation. There was multiple ones. There's eating animations for nothing happening. You just kind of eat the food and you're like, oh, whatever. And you just get like a small stamina buff or whatever. Then there's an eating animation where you do like the whole flex afterwards if you had a good meal. And then there was one where you puked if you had a bad meal.
Right. You would grab your stomach and fall over.
Yeah. You gotta wave at the air balloon.
Yeah.
So the monster is. I love this mechanic, even though he's in the area with you.
Yeah. I just wanted to show it off because I saw him in the distance, and I'm like, oh, I just want to show this. Okay, yeah, you're gonna see it here in a second. But when you're in sword mode and you hop on the monster, it'll do and that counts as a mounting attack. So you do a mounting attack going up, and then you would be able to do one coming down. So in this hunt, I'm going to be farming a shit ton of mounts.
Oh yeah, they even just use the For You HUD.
Oh yeah,
because this game, the same element.
Because this game is basically just For You.
My interactions with Generations Ultimate are weird, because it's like, I am aware with how annoying some of the endgame hunts are, vicariously through people I know having done them.
Oh yeah?
But I never actually did much endgame GU. at all. So like, you know, I'm aware that Bloodbath Diablos fucking sucked, but I never actually did the hunt myself.
I've never hunted any of it. I've never done really anything G rank in this game because for Generations on 3DS, I had friends to play with, and we did a few deviant hunts, but we never really like got into it because they didn't get far enough. But then when, at the time of Generations Ultimate, this was before I knew, before we had this whole group where people were, like, interested in Monster Hunter. It was also before World, so, like, no one really gave a shit about the series as a whole. So it was just this...
It was so niche before World.
Yeah.
I remember, like, when World came out, I had friends who were like, oh, you have this Monster Hunter series? I'm like, wait, you guys play Monster Hunter? And, like... what is this?
How do you
no
guys?
one I know plays this game.
How do you guys know about this?
Yeah, it's like, when did this come up? It's like, oh, one of them came because I didn't even know that Monster Hunter World had come out.
Oh, really?
It was a console exclusive.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
I think I'd heard that it was coming out, but then I saw it was only coming out on like Xbox and PS3. I was like, I'm not gonna. I don't own those consoles. I'm not planning on owning those consoles, so I'm just not gonna be able to play this game. And then, you know, I just like had friends that just, you know, were like, oh yeah, I love Monster Hunter, it's great. And I'm like, oh, and they're like, oh yeah, like the reason I played Monster Hunter World was because I had friends who were like, yeah, you gotta play it with us. And I was like, wait, it's on PC now?
Yeah. So here's you want to know the funniest thing about that is that I have been because I started playing on the Wii U, right? Like I like you, I was playing this for years, and I was trying to get friends in on it for a while, and you know, no one I knew owned 3DSs, except for like maybe 2 people, but they exclusively used them for Pokemon, and aside from Pokemon, they just never touched it. So it's like, like I get it, but I don't know, man. World comes out, so my buddy and I just completely fucking biffed this. My buddy and I were watching the Sony E3 press conference of like, I want to say 2015, 2016. And that's when they showed off the trailer for Monster Hunter World. And the second the Hunter, I don't know if you've seen that trailer, but like it shows
SD charge.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just watched it.
Oh yeah. You just you watched me completely fucking biff that. It was insane. But yeah, you see a guy walking around with a big sword on his back, and I saw the symbol and I immediately recognized it, and both Ginger and I were looking, like, because this is with my buddy Ginger. He's watching it, and he's like, Cameron, this is going to be a PlayStation exclusive. And I go, no! And sure enough, it was a fucking PlayStation exclusive. But he got the demo, and we played the demo of World before it came out. And I was, like, super, super fucking into it. I think there's a video on my channel. I think it's unlisted now. But I'm pretty sure I did a video years and years ago on the demo because I was so fucking... I was that into it even back then. But we didn't really properly get into it until it came out on PC, funnily enough. Because I never had a PlayStation. So, you know, ain't no way I was going to get into Monster Hunter at that point. That was slick. And then Rise comes out, and that's its whole thing, and it gets the weebs a little bit. It sucks because I'm one of those fans who on the outset you look at it and it's like, oh, old man yelling at the sky doesn't like how the new games are treating. But it's like, no, that's not the case. I just like Monster Hunter for a very specific reason, and that's just not apparent in the newer games, and I'm very upset about it because, like, you're missing why I love Monster Hunter so much. Because everyone sees it and it's just like, oh, you fight big monsters, that's pretty cool. I remember trying to show Monster Hunter to, I think it was Austin, actually, years and years ago. One of his, yeah, no, it was Austin, because one of his main complaints about Monster Hunter, back when I tried to show him back in like the days of 4U and Generations, his complaint was, A, he couldn't see the health bars, which was a big thing that I always heard. It's like, oh, well, where's the health bar for the monster? Is that the yellow bar on the top of the screen? And I'm like, no, there's no health bars in this game. But his other complaint was that he didn't like that the monsters didn't stay dead. Because he was coming from Dark Souls mentality, where it's like, you beat the boss and then the boss is dead for that run. Or for the game, you know?
Yeah.
But in this one, you're just constantly, like, fighting monsters over and over again, and he was not a big fan of that. Which, like, I kind of get, but it's such a weird. Oh fuck, he threw me off. But it's just such an interesting gripe to have about it. You know what I mean? I've seen some weird fucking complaints about Monster Hunter as a series, and they're trying to quote unquote alleviate that in the newer games, and I'm just like, no, you're also cutting out like exactly why I like the series. It's like, oh, I like these chicken wings because they have this particular spice that this one guy I know uses, and it's really delicious, and no one else is using this spice. And then that same chef comes out and is like, so I need more customers, so I'm gonna stop using this one spice because a lot of people say they don't like it. And I'm like, no, I like that spice. Bring it back, please.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, I guess potentially some of what I like Monster Hunter for has degraded over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Rise did a lot right, but it did actually epitomize some of what I dislike of modern Monster Hunter, which is stuff's gotten too fast.
Yeah.
Right? It's all fast-paced reactionary, whereas a lot of the old games were all, not all, but like were more methodical.
More positioning focused.
Yeah, positioning, methodical, which isn't entirely true. Like you could play like, if you played Dual Blades and shit, a lot of it was reactionary.
Well, yeah, but
also
at that point it would
planning
depend
and
on
that,
what weapon you pick, you know?
Yeah. But like, and a good chunk of it is also like the planning side of things. They were degraded a lot, and the resource management. I think that's the other big one. Is infinite health items used to come at the cost of you running around the map gathering stuff to make more.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't just go back to camp, refill your inventory.
Yeah.
Like, you could go back to camp and heal lay down and heal that way.
You can lay on the
do
bed. That's right.
I distinctly remember doing that a few times because it's like, oh shit, my health's low. I'm out of potions. I'm gonna run back to camp and heal, and then pick up some items on the way back to the boss.
Yeah.
Or way back to like whatever I was hunting. But like, that's just not a thing anymore.
Well, I mean, I like that because it's like you don't see games like that where it's like you're interacting with the world at a mechanical level at that point.
Yeah.
Where it's,
I think that is the other thing is they've gotten rid of that aspect of it quite a bit.
Yeah.
In the sense that I don't know how it is in Wilds, but in Rise, beyond some
I biffed it again.
Like, actually no, Rise you still gather stuff, but like you don't make things in the quests much anymore. There's no like
there's no reason
finding things. They've also mostly gotten rid of the unique items you can find in biffed it again. They've gotten rid of the like they used to be able to find certain things in like you'd find like actually this might not have been all hunts, but you get like throwing knives and then you could poison those throwing knives.
Oh yeah, no, those are
and
completely gone.
That wasn't something you could do pre-hunt. You had to go out of your way to do that mid-hunt. And but like the poison throwing knives would poison a monster in like 3 throws. Like you'd hit them with a couple and poison them or paralyze them.
Yeah.
And it was like very rewarding for having gone out of your way to do this thing.
Yeah. And you don't have to do it. Like I never really interacted with the throwing knives in that way when I played 4 Ultimate or even Freedom Unite or any of those games. But I definitely see like the point of it, you know?
Oh yeah, I'd use sleep ones all the time, man.
Oh, that'd be so useful.
I played a lot of Greatsword in Freedom Unite, so yeah.
Oh yeah,
the sleep ones were really good.
Oh yeah.
I also dislike a little bit how complex they've made weapons, right? Like every weapon, not every weapon, but weapons have gotten so many more things going on with them. And I think one of the issues is they've also made the simple ways of playing them not like less good, right? Like so you used to have
power creep. It's just classic power creep.
It's power creep that occurs by with increased complexity. Like Greatsword. I don't really mind the multi-slash system on Greatsword that much.
Yeah, the multi-charge system.
But I miss the just draw style. And I mean, they kind of brought it back a little bit in World with Frostcraft, and that was okay. But like, you had to get a specific armor set. You couldn't just use that with any of them. And, you had to like really spec into it for the draw style. And even then, though, it was not as good as just doing the normal true charge slats method. But again, I don't think that's necessarily bad. I think Greatsword used to be really one-dimensional. They've added a little more dimensionality to it. This is a personal complaint because I just really liked Quick Draw Greatsword. I thought that shit was fun.
It's not the problem of they added something new to it. It's more they took away the thing you liked about it.
They didn't take it away, though. They just made it not as good.
Oh.
And I mean, I'm okay with it. Like, again, that's a personal gripe. I don't fault them for that. But one of the things, it's like they added like, what is it, to Sword and Shield, they added like a lot of weird combo stuff, like the perfect rush style combos, and it gave it a little more dimensionality, but it made it feel more like fighting game combo style stuff, right? Where it's like you do this specific combo for your DPS, and you know, like you would go to the training room and practice it on the pole to get the combo button inputs down.
Oh yeah, and Rise, it was that was super.
Yeah, this was a big issue for Rise. World, it wasn't as bad,
No.
but I mean, World had the issue where the perfect rush combo they added in Iceborne was way too strong. So doing anything else was a huge drop in damage. But that was a balance issue. In Rise, they nerfed that back, so it wasn't as mandatory, but they added like a lot of combo-esque stuff. Sword and Shield's a bad example because you didn't really need to do that. I got by just fine not doing that stuff, but like some of the other weapons, like, you know, Hunting Horn, they changed that one to make it.
They've changed that weapon so many fucking times.
That one gets changed a lot. I think partially because that's not a weapon that draws people to it, right? It's seen as a buff tool, where it's not technically supposed to be a pure buff tool.
As a Hunting Horn player, I will tell you, Hunting Horn has some insane fucking potential. You just have to actually dig for it. And that's kind of why I like it, because it's like, it's a point of pride where it's like, oh, I learned how to use this, and I know what I'm doing with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like, oh, I didn't go with the easy option. It's like, I do like the systems where it's like, oh, there's different kinds of weapons, and not every weapon has to be completely approachable, is I guess the point I'm trying to get at. Where they try to make Hunting Horn or certain weapons more approachable, or they try to make... we can expand this out to just video games in general, but trying to make things more broadly approachable will ultimately dilute what made it special in the first place. And the people who enjoy it for those special things and that special, like, that initial hurdle you gotta get over, trying to remove that for artistic things like video games or for weapons or whatever, trying to remove that, I feel like, is kind of betraying the people who already like it for that specific thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
Going to what you were talking about with weapons being, like, really simple. Dude, Lance was super fucking busted in early Monster Hunter just because it had a big shield.
Yeah.
And it was the only weapon that had a shield that big and that strong. And then you actually play Lance in those old games. What are you doing? 1, 2, 3... take a break or dodge or whatever. 1, 2, 3, poke, take a break. 1, 2, 3. It's just, there's a rhythm to it, you know? And then you have that extra security of the shield. But now in Wilds, it's like you've got all these different kinds of charge moves, and there's different kinds of pokes. You can fucking aim your attacks now, which is an entirely different thing. It's... yeah, weapons have definitely gotten more complex over time, and it's very annoying in my opinion.
Yeah, like, I don't mind the increased complexity. I think my biggest gripe is that while I do believe that interacting with that complexity should be rewarded to a degree, I find that sometimes it's rewarding to a point that it is not worthwhile to not do it. Right? It's like with, I guess this is going back to the perfect rush combo with Sword and Shield in Iceborne.
I'll just do this again.
That perfect rush combo was so good that it made Sword and Shield, on average, the second fastest weapon for speedrunners.
No shit.
Beaten by Heavy Bowgun.
I feel like
Because
a lot of
it did
this...
so much damage. And so it was like, you wouldn't play any other way other than just using that combo over and over again. Because you're like, if I don't use this combo, I'm leaving half my damage potential on the table.
I feel like a lot of this is boiling down to Oh my god,
And again,
I forget who
to
said
a degree,
this.
it's personal preference. I don't like fighting game style combos
Mm-hmm.
because, at least to me, when I grew up, Monster Hunter, I played a lot of Hammer. I played a lot
Yeah.
of Great Sword and Sword and Shield, which at the time was mostly just all about, like, all of those weapons are mostly about positioning, getting the hits in, getting out,
Yeah.
right? Or Sword and Shield is about getting the hits in while staying nearby, while not getting hit.
You have the
utilizing
extra
your
mobility
blocks
and
at the right
flexibility
time.
of being
Yeah.
able to use weapons while being able to use items while the weapon is out. Like that's the biggest
That,
boon.
but also the big thing is the fact that you can move quickly with your weapon out and you can block. Was the big thing,
Yeah.
right? So it's Sword and Shield was a lot about positioning in the sense that you want to stay as close to the monster and not move away from it, so you can maintain your damage uptime when you have the chance to hit it.
Yeah.
So you want to be near the monster with your weapon out as much as possible. Hammer and Greatsword were a lot more about getting in, hitting, getting out, finding the time to get in, hit again, get out. And I feel like there aren't really many weapons like do that type of playstyle anymore.
Hammer is still, even in Wilds, Hammer is still like that. It's one of the few weapons that still has that kind of gameplay style. But okay, here's I heard this described this way, and I might have told you about this. In classic Monster Hunter, it's not really apparent in the monsters I'm fighting right now because fucking fighting Jaggies and Bulldromes, right? Like these are shitter
Yeah,
monsters
yeah.
that don't really matter. But when you get into the later hunts, it's turn-based. You have your attack that the monster will do their attack, and it is on you to dodge that attack. And then after they do their attack, there is an opening, and like what's fun about it is finding that opening and exploiting it. Exploiting the monster's behavior. A lot of Monster Hunter, classic-wise, is very reactionary and very you're just trying to exploit your opening and exploit the monster's behaviors, right? I feel like that is more immersive to this kind of world than learn the combos. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think I would agree with that to an extent. I also, partially that I think comes down to a bit of monster AI too. Monster AI is a lot simpler in these games
Yes.
than it is. Like, World was a step up in terms of monster AI randomness. And I remember, because this was actually a big complaint from the speedrunning community, was the number of resets went way up with World. Because, you know, used to be you could sort of manipulate monster behavior, and you still could to a degree, but it was a lot less reliable. Whereas in the older games, to a degree, you could manipulate stuff more. And I mean, partially, some of that is a balance issue, because, like, you know, there's some, like, iconic speedruns of, like, Freedom Unite, where someone's just, like, standing in front of a Cantor and just throwing flash bombs periodically, and just by,
Yeah.
like, constantly keeping him stun locked.
And
with
you
it.
have three
And-
other people with siege mode heavy bowguns or whatever.
Well, siege mode didn't exist back then.
Well,
in this
you know what I
one,
mean, with
but,
just
like,
heavy
yeah.
bowguns just constantly like throwing damage at him while while the fourth guy is just using flash pods. Like, no, yeah, I get that.
No, yeah, it's like that stuff I think was a bit dumb. And I mean, again, some of this is just obviously, you know, looking at that nostalgia rose-colored glasses. I did go
Yeah.
replay Freedom Unite a few years back, and it's okay. I enjoyed it, but, like, it's rough. It's got some rough edges.
Oh, of course.
I will readily admit they've made some significant improvements. I just...
See, this is where the interesting conversation comes in, because can mechanics be counted as art? Let me ask you that.
Define mechanics
Okay.
the sense, because that's gonna vary how I
Okay.
answer this. Is
That's
what
very
you
true.
are associating with mechanics.
How about, let me rephrase it then. Would you consider the interaction of individual mechanics in a game's system, the setting up of that system and how the mechanics interact with them, would you consider that art, or would you consider that more of like a science?
I would probably consider that more in line with art than anything else, because to a certain degree, it is dictating how one experiences something.
Yeah.
And the whole premise of making people experience things, like, art is about trying to make people experience something,
Yes.
right? you draw a painting, you're trying to get someone to experience it in a certain way. So yeah, I'd call it art.
Okay.
When you say mechanics, I was like, if you're thinking like, oh yeah, would you call the mechanic of being able to block?
The mechanic, yeah,
I'm
of
like,
being able to block.
maybe.
That's yeah. No, I get that.
Yeah.
I had to specify the interaction of mechanics.
Yes. At that level, yes, I would consider that art, a form of art, because it's not about the individual building blocks. I guess a way to think of it is Lego.
Oh, okay.
An individual piece of Lego isn't art, but how you've assembled pieces of Lego together can be art.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you can think of mechanics like
Oh my
being able
God,
to
I
block,
biffed it
being
again.
able to dodge roll as your like paint in a way, right? So I like that way of thinking of it.
Yeah. And so that's kind of where I was trying to get at with what you were saying, because I'm noticing a lot in the conversations that there's a lot of words, like especially when talks about old Monster Hunter versus new Monster Hunter, there is a lot of use of the word improvement. Because you've used that word quite a bit when we were talking about this. And to a certain extent, I do agree with you, where they're smoothing over a lot of those rough edges. And it makes it more broadly approachable to gamers in general, just people in general, right? But at that point, would smoothing over of those mechanics be not antithetical to what it is, but would it would change how it changes how the game is experienced, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
So I would consider the older Monster Hunter games, even though they have their rough edges, I would still consider it to be part of what makes it so great in the first place. And I'm not saying that every Monster Hunter game should have the bullshit hitboxes that were in Freedom Unite.
When I say improvement, that's generally what I'm referring to. It's
Yeah.
stuff like they've gotten rid of they've reduced the occurrence of bullshit hitboxes.
Yeah.
They've made certain clunky elements more streamlined. And those are, I guess, from a personal opinion, those are edges that I found when they smoothed over, they didn't impact the issues with the game.
Sure.
The things that I felt impacted the core art of the game, I guess we're using this analogy, is, or I guess it's a metaphor technically.
Yeah, whatever. Same thing.
Because we're stuff like resupplying, I can't, right? Like
Yes.
that was to get rid of the frustration of you forgot, you didn't prep properly, or you realize, oh, this isn't working, I need to change my loadout. That was being stuff that that was getting rid of.
Oh my god, the
important
Bullfango
aspects.
killed the Bulldrome.
Incredible.
You'll see this in a second. Holy shit, the Bullfango is what did the final hit. Oh, sorry, continue. That just threw me out.
I guess it comes down to what gets smoothed over in that sense, right? Because you can think of it, I guess, like a sculpture in the sense, right? Your sculpture can have a lot of rough edges, and you can smooth those out and make it a nice, like sculpture of a face, right? You can have little chips and rough edges on it, but if you smooth over it so hard that you lose the nose,
Yeah.
is it really a face anymore? And there is an
Exactly.
argument to be made that is it the same face if you get rid of those rough edges? And I do
Ship
think
of
that there
Theseus
is a
type
point
shit.
where it's not so much Ship of Theseus as it is, because Ship of Theseus is you're replacing stuff.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I guess in the same line is is it the same thing? But I guess yeah, it makes sense. Like if you smooth over too many edges, is it the same thing anymore? Is it
Exactly. And that's
And
part.
I
That's
guess-
part of where I'm getting at with the newer games. The certain things that they smooth over, it's like you stop.
Yeah.
You lose the flavor that made Monster Hunter so unique in the first place.
And I guess that comes down to what your opinion on what those distinctive features that make up the, if we're going to use the analogy of it's like a face, what was the nose? What was like the lips? What things, if you smooth over, you've just lost a part of it versus what were the little, acne or whatever that you could get rid of and it would still be the same face in that sense. This analogy is getting harder to keep up.
a little bit, but I am following. I am picking
Yeah.
up what you're putting down.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's I think we probably have slightly different features that to me, because to me, some of it is okay. I'm not too tied to the zone system. Like, you know, if you were to make a huge open world amalgamation of all the different areas, I'd be okay with that, as long as it still had the quest-based stuff. Where it's
that's
you
part of
accept
it,
the
yeah.
hunt to go kill this one monster, because that is a feature that I think is a distinguishing feature of it.
Yeah,
is
it's part of
you're
the flow.
setting out to do this one particular task, potentially with other ones. Like, you know, they added in the subquests. I didn't mind those.
Yeah.
Because it's like an optional thing you can do for a bit of an extra reward, and sometimes that factors into your planning. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna try and do that subquest. Sometimes you're like, nah, fuck that, I'm not doing that subquest.
Yeah. And I'm gonna add to this. It also kind of helps with grinding in a way, where it's like, you know, you do a quest
to smooth over that.
Yeah,
edge,
you complete it via the subquest.
And like one of the things they've added in was like, and this is something that they've done for years with these, is like smoothing over rough edges of grinding. Because like in base Monster Hunter Freedom, or Freedom, whatever, before Unite,
yeah,
there was no
Gen 1.
easy source of raw meat.
Because you had to go out into a
and
quest.
Kill stuff
Yeah.
to get the meat and bring it back every time.
I think there was a merchant in the online
They added that
hub.
with Freedom Unite.
Did
Or
they?
it was added in as like a DLC that came later. But like originally, that merchant didn't sell raw meat.
Oh.
You can buy it in Freedom Unite.
In Freedom Unite.
I don't know when exactly that got added, but yeah, that wasn't initially there.
Interesting.
And, you know, that's just like a thing where it's like, yeah, you know, it got rid of that loop of you have to go hunt stuff, but like, and it's, oh yeah, you're going and hunting monsters, but it's like, you're going and hunting fucking Popo, right? Like,
Hi, Popo.
for legal reasons, I don't mean the police.
For legal reasons.
But like, you know, that kind of edge, I didn't think affected it. But you know what? I'm sure there's some people who were like, oh, but you know, that was part of hunting monsters. It was part of Monster Hunter. And I mean, I'd get it. Like, look, as a kid, I would have been like, that sounds really annoying, because I fucking would have, that's tedious. And I still think that's a bit tedious. But from the perspective of why you're enjoying the game, I kind of get it. Like, the whole, like, you know, they had to add that whole farm system.
The farm system smooths out a lot, and I would argue adds more to the game than it takes away.
No, exactly. I don't think the farm system was bad.
Yeah.
I thought it was good, but again, that whole farm system, kind of, if you try and think about it from the perspective of, you know, world building, it's kind of dumb. You're like, oh, you just have all these resources right here. Like, I mean, I guess the farming vegetables.
There is a little bit. There's a little bit of like a suspension of disbelief with these games.
Exactly. I know, but like,
Which
it's
is art
one
in
of those
general.
things where that was smoothing over the little bump that was gathering. It didn't get rid of the bump, but it smoothed out some jagged edges on that bump.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, I personally thought that was a good one to smooth over.
Yeah.
And
Like,
then,
I like
you know,
the farm.
every
Because
game
it adds a grind
series of
between
those things.
hunts, you know?
I see, the thing I didn't like about it though was it became a chore that you just did between every hunt. You just go to your farm, do all the shit, and then leave. I guess you got to a point eventually where you didn't have to do it because you had enough resources. But that didn't necessarily happen naturally, and that didn't happen until later on. Because for a while, you needed all of those things, and you constantly needed them. You needed so many fucking earth crystals, so you'd constantly be in there.
God, the fucking
Because
earth
like
crystals.
some of the fucking items, it's like, oh, you gotta upgrade this thing. 40 earth crystals.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. It's like you can hold 20 of those in your backpack.
Yep.
So you had to, at minimum, go get them multiple times.
Yep.
It's like...
And trying to polish the rusted weapons, too, you needed 99 of them.
Yep.
At least in Gen 1. I don't know about Gen 2. I didn't get that far.
It was still a lot in Freedom Unite, I remember. But again, to be fair, those weapons were kind of like special on the side and then upgraded into the Fatalis weapons. So they were kind of like... It was a little okay, because those weren't things you were supposed to really be interacting with until later on when you had a huge glut of these things.
Yeah.
But only if you've been keeping up with the farming.
Yeah.
But again, that is something that they've kind of smoothed over in the later games. You don't have to farm nearly as much anymore.
You don't have to farm at all in Wilds. There actually straight up just isn't a farm.
Well, when I say farming, I don't mean like you have a specific farm area, because you know, World kind of has one. I don't think Rise sort of has one.
Sort of.
Where
It has the Meowster hunters or whatever.
Yeah, it has like this thing where you could be like, oh, go get these resources, but like most of the resources they're going to get are like specific to that mechanic. Like that's the main reason, at least I found myself using it, was to get the resource, the activity specific resources.
Yeah, which that's exactly what you do in Wilds.
Like what Rise did is they basically split your backpack. I think Winnie Worlds did this too, but they split your backpack where, like, you know, things that you just gather in the world aren't counted into your inventory that you could bring to the hunt.
Are you talking about okay, so they kind of do this in this game where you have you have an adventurer's pouch where you have an additional page of backpack space only when you're on a quest. So they give you like more space to work with. Also, account items just slowly became less and less of a thing. They were still present in World, and were they in Rise, account items?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rise still has a point system, so did World.
I actually don't know if Wilds does, because during the 80 hours I've played of that game, I have rarely, I think I had to go out to gather materials like twice. Because you want to know what happens? You're running around, you can gather materials with the slingshot now. So you can just gather things from a distance. So you're running around and just like, oh, I'm going to get that, I'm going to get that, I'm going to get that. And it's like, that on its own isn't a bad thing. You also have the handler gathering stuff for you automatically during quests. And I personally do not like that. I found it, the older I get, the more annoyed I get at NPCs just doing shit and popping up and being like, oh, I gathered this thing for you. Shut the fuck up and go away. Never talk to me again. Like, I thought I would love the new handler, but she talks so goddamn much about nothing that it's like, why are you here? You are only here to annoy me.
Yeah, but I will say that, like, the handler NPCs, like, the handler in World was a little annoying. Again, I think that's the thing, is Rise kind of didn't feel annoying in Rise, but maybe that's just the characters, right? Like, they just were writing on them. I don't know.
After
I'm
playing,
trying to remember how involved they were. No, because it'd just be like a voice you'd hear occasionally, I guess.
I don't think there was no, yeah, there were handlers, but they were like quest girls, really. Less handlers.
They went more towards the quest girl type thing as opposed to the handler.
Which there is so much, we've already had this conversation before, but there is so much potential in the idea of a handler type character, and they just don't do anything with it. Just please give me the Bullfango Pelt. Thank you.
Yes. My issue with the handler type thing, and I think this is an issue with some of the games in general, is in the older games, you didn't really feel like you were particularly special until towards the end. Right? Like, think about, I guess, for you, right? Like, you don't really feel like you're a special hunter till you get access to the, like, G rank stuff.
But where you join the big dick squad and you get to go to the fucking Elder Hall. It's like, yeah, now you earned that spot up there.
But, like, even then, there's NPCs there.
Yeah.
Right? And, like, you feel more special, but you don't feel like you're the little chosen one. Whereas
oh my god, dude, minute one.
Shown in World, you kind of feel, and in Rise as well. Rise has this issue as well. You're kind of like, you are sort of the chosen one.
Dude, Wild's minute one. It's such main character bullshit. It's so fucking annoying. I fucking hate, because the Hunter talks in that game now. Which the Hunter never talks in any Monster Hunter game.
That is actually something, that's one of those edges that I'm like, you know what? I don't think that's an edge. That's a feature you
that
just
is a
smacked
feature.
On
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You just taped another nose onto that face. Because I actually kind of liked the fact that you were a voiceless, other than grunting protagonist.
Yeah. Because it, like, voiceless protagonists allow you to sort of, like, implant yourself on the character more.
I think you have voice lines in Rise. But, like, you don't have dialogue,
you do.
But you'll, like, say things. Like,
which I shut all of that off minute one when I got into that
You
game.
could turn those off, though. I think I turned them off, too, just because I found them a little annoying.
They are very annoying, in my opinion. Again, this is my opinion. I'm very particular about a lot of things. I blame the autism.
because it's like I think if there were a little more variety to them, it would have been fine. But it's like, yeah, watch out, and it just like you hear that like 40 times in a hunt, and I'm like, okay, that's enough.
I think the biggest shame is that they just, in Wilds especially, they just removed the Monster Hunter language as a concept.
You see, I never really used the Monster Hunter language audio or all that, but like I liked that it was there.
Mm-hmm. I prefer that, really, because it's just like, I don't know, man.
I would use it, but I don't like reading. I don't want to have to just read subtitles all the time, especially in a game. Like in World, you know, sometimes you have to be paying attention to what people are saying.
I mean,
and so
do you?
I'd like to be able to get that as an audio cue as opposed to a reading cue.
Okay, sure. I can understand that.
Again, it's personal preference. I don't like watching subtitled shows a lot of the time because I don't want to have to sit there and read while watching a show because I find that the reading aspect of it, I'm not watching the show while I'm reading.
That's fair. I personally don't mind subtitles a lot of the time. For me, when I hear the Monster Hunter language, it's like, oh, this is just another wrinkle of like the form of immersion that I really like in these games, where it's like, this is a foreign world. Like, they have their own culture and their own stuff that's going on, and to have their own vocal language, but still like being able to understand it through text, I find that to be a wrinkle that I personally enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's a very minor thing, personally, for my enjoyment.
Yeah.
But it is kind of like, why they didn't need to get rid of it, because, like...
Yeah, they didn't, that's the thing. They didn't need to get rid of it.
So much of it was so goofy.
Yeah, it's like
in World, there were some really goofy voice lines in the Monster Hunter language, where you're just like, what were they trying to go for this? Because it's just like... There's one, it's like...
Exactly. Yeah, it's funny.
They just say, like, what was that? What was that sound you just made? Because I think how they make it is they just kind of, like, took the voice actors saying specific phonemes and just mashed them together.
Probably. That's fine. And also, like, okay, this is a thing that is specific to me. I expect no one else to share this particular mind goblin with me. For playing a game with effectively only grunts, for playing a series where the only form of voice line is just grunts and random like bullshit, to then be thrown into a game where everyone is just talking either English or Japanese, it is so jarring to me, because now it's not, oh, I'm getting immersed in the Monster Hunter world, it's I'm watching a TV show about Monster Hunter. Does that make sense at all?
Not really the way you explained it to me, but I think I sort of get it. But like also,
it's just jarring. Like I don't want to hear regular language. It's like she's just. I'm here to play Monster Hunter.
Again, to me, I don't get that specifically because I like to be able to, I like to hear potentially audio that's makes sense in the game context. That I don't mind that stuff. Again. I grew up playing Freedom Unite on a PSP emulator on my laptop that I had as a kid.
Oh, so you didn't have to claw then, did you?
Not as much. I did play a bit on an actual PS2, but even on a controller, you still had to claw because of how.
Well, because you could map the D-pad to the right stick. That's what I did. That's what I did when I played.
You could, but I was like 12.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I just played with whatever the fuck the defaults were.
Okay, yeah, no, I get that. I'm looking for herb gathering.
I guess it's one of those things where I think if I were to sit down and put my opinions in words, it'd be a lot more cohesive of an argument, because I probably contradicted myself several times.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I've done the same thing. That's just kind of what happens.
And I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, exactly. It happens when you talk, and also, again.
And the fact that it's
all the time, just my writing and stuff. When I put it down on paper, it tends to be far more cohesive than when I'm just spitballing out. Well,
of my ass. Because we're also actively like refining our ideas as we're talking to each other,
and I'm also actively doing other things.
Yeah, I'm also like playing the fucking video game, so part of it is like, oh, I have to focus on the game sometimes. Yeah, that's just how it is. Which, by the way, switching over to that different audio subsystem completely fixed the audio lag. So that is what we're gonna be doing. I'll show you how to do it. It's not hard. I'll just show you where the menu is. Because I just need to get this set up for Abby and Zave too. It's just like, they're just both of them are just so. What's the right word? Headstrong, I guess. Not headstrong. Not stubborn. Zave especially is just kind of like, you need to help me figure this out, and it's like, I will, but it's like also, I don't know, man. There's stuff in here that's kind of easy. I don't know. Oh, for fuck's sake! Goddamn Gia Prey. Okay, I need 20 of them. How many do I have? 17. Please let me be done with this quest. Please let me be done with this quest! I want to end the stream so I can get lunch before movie night. Oh, man. I guess the takeaway from all of this is you can pass on wilds. I think it's fine. And I think the more
I'm going to play wilds at some point.
Okay,
it's just
fair.
I have no literally I'm waiting till it's like quite cheap basically.
But that's probably not going to happen until the DLC gets announced or released or whatever. Yeah.
And then what I'd probably do is, get a sale, get both at the same time, play it all.
I should also, okay, here, let's talk about the end game grind for Wilds, because it's very particular. Do you know about the end game grind for, do you know anything about the end game of Wilds?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't even know what the I know the flagship monster from the trailer, but apparently there's another one in there. I don't even know what that is. I've avoided looking at Wilds for anything.
Do you want me to talk to you about it then, or do you want to just go in?
The end game mechanics you can mention. Yeah, I don't care.
Okay, so I won't spoil any. Well, I probably already. I know I've screamed at Abby and Zave and probably one other person about how the story makes no fucking sense and is dumb and gay and stupid.
You have mentioned that there's apparently some man-made monster type shit, which is weird to me, but
yeah.
Whatever.
It's just a plot point. For the end game, so you remember the Ardian armor set that looks like a weird kind of robot thing?
Yeah, that's from I guess it's technically not from Infinity Blade, but it looks like it's from Infinity Blade.
So now every weapon has an Ardian version. Okay. And that's what you're grinding for. Okay. So tempered monsters are back, for one. And when you fight tempered monsters, depending on the invisible rank of the monster, just as a baseline power level. So there's 3 levels. Yankutku and little shitter monsters are level 1. Rathalos is level 2, and then the endgame Elder Dragons are level 3. So you fight the tempered versions of those monsters, and you'll get level 1, 2, 3 parts for Ardian weapons. And you use 3 of those parts to craft an Ardian weapon. And there's either there's different elements for each one. It can either be a different element or different status. And then alongside that, there's either affinity class or attack class. You put together parts of the Ardian weapon to forge the Ardian weapon you want, giving it either the element you want, the status you want, or focusing on either raw attack damage or affinity. And you build those, and the reason why you build those is because you get to customize your own weapon, right? But also, every Ardian weapon has 3 level 3 slots. And they completely changed how armor skills work in this game, because weapons, they've split. So, attack up and weakness exploit and status up and stuff like that, those skills are only on weapons now.
Okay.
So now, it's it's more of just take a big bucket of all the skills you want and pour them on your fucking head like it's an ALS ice bucket video from 2016. I'm trying to also think about this, because weapons have skills now. So when you craft a weapon, it will come with a skill. But there are half of the skills can only be applied to weapons. So if you want max lightning attack, you need to put on a level 3 lightning attack jewel on your weapon to get it to work, or the weapon has to naturally come with it. And Ardian weapons allow you to just really fucking put on as many skills as are relevant to your weapon and your playstyle. So that's what you're grinding for. And then, after you actually build the weapon, we're not even done yet. After you build the weapon, you then have to put materials into it to have it roll for additional sharpness, affinity, or attack. And you can do that up to 5 times. You put 50 of a specific rock into the weapon, and it will give it 5 or 6 more rerolls that will give it, and you can't control how that rolls, by the way. It's just, you know, you build your lightning hammer, and I'll build my lightning hammer, and you build your lightning hammer. We'll use the same parts, the same gems, the same everything, but our skills, if we max out everything, our skills will, our individual stats will still be slightly different. You might have, like, a better sharpness meter, like more white sharpness at the end, and I may have more affinity. So it's also a part of, like, building them up to then roll for the skills you want, and if you don't like them, you dismantle the weapon and do it again. But, I will say, if you dismantle a weapon, you get back all of the upgrade materials.
Okay.
So that's part of the smoothing over that I'm okay with. And then, after that, you can further upgrade those weapons to Gogmazios weapons. And that's how you get the Gog weapons. You don't just craft a Gog's gear anymore. You have to upgrade it from Ardian.
I'm not a huge fan of that, mostly because that just means, like, this just means everyone's going to be running around with the same weapons.
Exactly.
Which I don't like.
That's exactly what it is. But
and I mean,
but when you upgrade a weapon to the max, like let's say I am fighting Rathian, and I max upgrade a Rathian Charge Blade, I then unlock layered weapons for that Rathian blade.
That's how they implemented it in Iceborne.
Yeah. So you can make your Ardian gear look like, you can make your poison Ardian gear look like a Rathian Charge Blade.
I mean, to a degree I get it, but I'm also not a huge fan of being able to transmog in Monster Hunter.
Really?
Because I feel like part of the appeal, and that's like, you know, you want to use a cool looking weapon, I get it, but like, I think there should be a style cost, right?
Yeah.
I think if you want to min-max, you should have to look like a fucking loser.
And if you're able to min-max and still look cool, that's pretty
exactly.
That's pretty epic.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the fact that all the weapons are homogenizing, and I mean, I do, like, again, I'm looking at this like I wonder how much of this is potentially coming from the fact that they have weapon skins as paid DLC.
Might seeds? Oh,
like,
yeah.
That type of stuff. Like, again, that was a big thing for me, was adding in paid DLC cosmetics was kind of like a step that I was like, I'm not a huge fan of this in Monster Hunter.
Yep.
Like, the emote packs, I was like, you know what? I'm not a fan of it, but whatever. I can handle that. But when they added paid cosmetic skins, I was like, I don't like this. I really don't want this to exist, because part of Monster Hunter is the dress up.
Yeah.
Right? And so as soon as you add paid DLC skins, all that tells me is the cool designs you guys come up with are just going to end up being paid DLC. Yep. They're not going to be from a monster. Like, I remember, like, one of the ones they did in Rise. I'll readily admit, those weapons looked fucking sick. They were like these cool, like, mech hybrid stuff. And I was like, that would be sick if you, like, you know, they looked cool. I loved how they looked. I was like, I would have loved it if this was, you know, a thing from, like, you know, let's say they added fucking Adal-Ka, right?
Oh, they would have fucked up Adal-Ka if they added it to Wilds.
Probably. But, like, I'm just saying, like, you know, they could have added it, or they could have just had it from an event quest. That's fine, right?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
They do that too. But just, like, you know, the fact that you have shown that your cool designs are going to be paid DLCs now. Like, someone comes up with a really sweet design, it's going to be paid DLC.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't like that, because that just means that there's now effectively a behind-the-scenes financial incentive to make the base stuff not look as good. I don't know if that's happening. That's probably never going to be provable that it's happening unless some artist from the game comes up and be like, yeah, we were told to do this. But, like, it is now in my mind that is potentially happening. So like, you know, I was able to forgive the really shitty skins in world because I sort of understood where it came from. Because the idea was, yeah, you're building these from monster parts. We want it to look like you've built these weapons from monster parts. It looked like shit and no one liked it, but I got where it came from, right? It was like, okay, I get it. I know where this has come from, what you were trying to do. I just didn't like it. But now it's like, if they were to do something like that, I'm not able to give them that benefit of the doubt now. It's like, okay, well, you know, if you have shitty skins or stuff looks bad, it's like, are you doing this because you want to sell more DLC, more microtransactions?
It's
like,
that, yeah, the knowing kind of knowing that is a thing that could potentially happen definitely ruins it, and a lot of it is just like, oh, you're thinking about it too hard. I've definitely heard that when I mention concerns like these, people will come back to me and be like, you're thinking about this too hard, and I'm like, correct, but also, if my worries are not entirely unfounded.
Exactly. It's like it to my knowledge hasn't happened yet.
To my knowledge, yeah, also.
But like, it's also possible that it could.
That's the sucky part, is that it's possible.
Also, I just got recommended a game that I'm just gonna DM you because it looks like this is Cameron. This is a Cameron coded game.
Is it fucked up and weird and goofy, or is it porn?
No. It's a Cameron coded game.
Let me see what this is. Tearscape. Gothic world, top-down 2D action adventure. Game Boy Color? Hello?
Yep.
Alright, hold on. Store. Oh, the store is down right now.
I have it open right now. I'm on the page.
Okay, here we go. I was just having weird issues. Okay, here we go. 1349. What is this? Oh my god, this is a me-coded game.
Yep.
This is Game Boy Color Bloodborne. Holy shit. Adding to the wish list. Alright, well, thank you for that.
It came out like a couple days ago.
I will keep that in the back of my head. Thank you. Because I saw the pixel art.
I literally only saw the aesthetics on the thing, and I'm like, yeah, this is Cameron coded.
I'm definitely interested. I will definitely check that out. Or I'm going to try to, anyway.
I haven't looked into it at all, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
It could be terrible.
It could be. I don't know. We'll see.
It doesn't have an AI assets disclaimer, so that's good.
That's good. Oh, yeah, you're right. That's the... I have to look... Dude,
that's like the first thing I look for when I see a new game now, is like, does it have an AI? I have seen one that I was okay with, because they used an AI voice for a robot that wasn't AI, and I was like, you know what? That's a stylistic choice I can understand.
There was a game that I found that I was like kind of excited for. It was like a weird wizard game, and it did some interesting stuff with like how it... I don't know. It looked... No, sorry. It wasn't a wizard game. It was a plague doctor game. Like, you are an actual plague doctor in the medieval times, and you have to, like, be a doctor for a village. And I was like, oh, this looks really cool. And I decided to check out some of the other games that this dev team had worked on. First game I saw from them, the only other game they had that I saw from them, AI art disclaimer. And I'm like, well,
yeah,
cool. I don't even need to think about the Plague Doctor game anymore.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that is the reality. I mean, I'm glad the disclaimer is there.
Yeah, so am I.
Because, you know, it's a way for me to filter stuff, but like, all the thing is though, is the fact it's just people are gonna avoid using it at some point. Like, how do they moderate that, right? Like, because it's a self disclaimer where you're supposed to, and if it gets found out that you're not using them. But the problem is, if they're used reasonably well, it's hard to tell they're there. And that, to me, that doesn't mean it's fine, because...
No, yeah.
Like...
That doesn't make it okay, yeah.
Because, I think, it's because video games, to me, are a medium that is art. And actually, you know, maybe you'll actually watch it. I posted this the other day. And
oh, you're talking about the novel
Brandon
writer?
Sanderson.
Yeah,
Kino
I watched that today.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. He puts it he basically put it exactly my feelings on it in really good words, and I was like, that's exactly how I feel about it. And again, because video games to me are a medium that is art, and so anything that the visuals, all that is part of your art. I'm okay if you used AI to do some of your code, because to that same argument, the code to me isn't art. That is. The intent of it is to become it is a purposeful thing.
I feel like there's an argument there because it's like,
and I mean, some people would argue otherwise. That is a personal opinion. I'm fine with
sure
the code side of things as long as the code is functional. That is a big caveat at the moment, because there's a lot of cases where it's not.
Yeah, like okay, you play 2 games and they look identical, but one game was vibe coded and the other one was like hand coded.
If they play identically to me, like the vibe coded one doesn't have like security flaws or all those things, which most vibe coded things do.
Yeah, that's the
like
problem, right?
Crashes, like that's the thing. Is to me at the moment that means there's probably an inherent distinct difference in the quality of how they were coded, which means in my opinion, the hand coded one is probably going to be better. Just because it's probably coded better. Not necessarily the case, because I mean, if you had no idea what you were doing, the vibe-coded one might actually be better. But to me, that doesn't affect me, because again, it comes down to that. This is like the argument Brandon Sanderson was saying, right? It's like art isn't there's no purpose to it.
Yeah,
it's not. You're not trying to.
It's not a product.
Make art for a product. Yeah, the art, in a way, it is a commercial product, but the purpose of art isn't transactional necessarily.
Yeah.
To me, code is sort of its purpose. It's not art.
I understand where your distinction is coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is utilitarian, I guess is the thing. Code is supposed to do something.
I will add
how you got it to do something, I don't mind. Obviously, this is in isolation of all of the issues with the AIs, being trained on copyrighted data, and all that, the privacy invasions, the environmental factors. This is in isolation of that, which admittedly, you realistically can't make that argument in today's age. But
yeah, because like the phones that you and I both have in our pockets were were built by fucking Taiwanese kids who were basically slaves.
There's a level where you have to kind of. It becomes hard to.
You got to protect your own sanity at a certain point.
Yeah, exactly. If you worry about too many things, and I mean, again, in the current day and age, using like the chat GPTs and stuff like that, that's very environmentally destructive, not great. But there will be, and
also just fucks with your ability to critically think for yourself.
That's a whole other issue. Where, if you're using them in a responsible, appropriate manner, that's not necessarily the case, but most people don't. And even if you do use them in a way, like that whole argument, it's kind of like yes and no, because I have yet to see how deep the studies I've seen are. Obviously, it's not my field, but like I'm sure we'll find out more in that regard.
The effects in that regard might not be as bad as we initially think, but any semblance of it being bad is something I'm trying to avoid.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like those same arguments were basically made for calculators, were made for computers. Yeah. So like that's where I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to just full believe those yet, because there were studies when those came out that said the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, that's whatever. But like, obviously all the environmental data factors. At the moment, those are huge concerns because, well, they are drawing power. There's so much water waste, all these computer
water waste, fucking with local communities.
But the thing is, that cat is out of the bag in terms of what those models can do. And eventually we're going to get to a point, I don't know how long this is going to take because it might take decades. I'm not super familiar with that specific end of machine learning technology.
In the States, it's going to take us a long time. In other countries, probably not that long.
What I mean is we're going to get to a point where that's going to be a thing you can just run on your computer. And it's like you're not going to use that much more power than just you. I mean, you already can. I already could load one.
You can run an on-prem LLM, yeah.
Yeah, like you can already do that. And you could do that in vibe code from that, right? Like
Sure.
And at that point, is the environmental impact that high?
Let's ignore all of that stuff. I would still argue that vibe coding for games specifically is there is an inherent difference. Because part of the artistry of making a video game is the code itself, I would argue.
Yes and no, because the problem is a lot of stuff, it's just like Unity stuff, right? Like people are just using Unity or Unreal Engine functionality.
It depends on it also just depends on the programmer themselves. Like if you look at someone, I'm gonna say a name to you, and I doubt you're gonna know who this is. Do you know who Tyler Glale is?
No.
Okay.
I do not.
He is a programmer, works a lot with Edmund McMillan. I'm assuming you know who that guy is.
That name sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
Binding of Isaac and Super Meat Boy and all those games.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't really play those, so.
That's fine. So Tyler and Edmund are working on their new game. I have talked about it a lot. They're talking their new game, Mugenics. Tyler developed his own engine for that game. He is he is like the sole programmer. There's a few other people who are helping him code here and there, but for the most part, that entire game for 6 years was developed almost solely by him. That is art, in my opinion. Developing your own engine and how the mechanics work together to create this game, the foundation for what this game is allowed to be, I would argue that's art. Using Unity and developing a game surrounding the tools using for Unity is a little bit trickier. There's a bit more of a gray area there, because I do understand your point where it's like more utilitarian. And just using...
Like, again, I guess it's where do you draw that line in terms of art? Again, we can go back to this like Lego analogy.
Right.
Where do you draw it as being the singular piece of Lego that is itself not art versus the assembly of all of it? And where does that line come in?
I feel like, okay, you know what? Actually,
and
okay.
to me, that happens after the base code level.
I actually have an interesting way to link this with the Lego thing. Okay. Lego, okay, using Unity is like building a Lego set using the instruction manual. But building your own engine is taking a box of Legos and putting together something yourself. It's obviously a lot more difficult to make something that looks good, that is appealing. It's obviously a lot more difficult to make things that are functional, and using the instruction manual will get you to the spot that you want to be faster. But at the end of the day, you still built something, right? Even if you use the instruction manual, you still built the thing. So you still learned, by going through the motions of putting together the instruction manual stuff, you're still understanding how everything is being put together. And at that point, you can use that knowledge of using the instruction manuals to then move on to build something else. If we're going to tie this back to, it's not about the product, it's about the journey. So using tools like that, I would still argue is more artistically driven than, I don't know, programming a calculator. You know what I mean? It's like, it's video games in this specific way. Programming in this specific way to build a thing that people are meant to interact with in the way that they do with video games, I would still say is more art than purely utilitarian. It's more like an alchemy, really. It's like a science and an art mixed together.
I guess it's... I'll say that. It's not art.
Yeah.
But I think it is to a point that because it is something that is often often assembled in a more building block style manner, that I do think that. So like, yeah, I'll say that it's a gray zone, right? Because it's again, it is something that could be art. Because I will say, yeah, you know what? If you make a bespoke engine and you code it with the intent of how those things all interact together with your game, that it's part of your art. It's part of the art you have created at that point.
Oh, yo, what's up, Appalachian9783? I don't know how long you've been here, but holy fuck, we've been having a very...
I forgot you were streaming.
Yeah! No one has typed in chat for this entire brain hemorrhage-causing conversation we've been having that has eventually led us to philosophize on what is and isn't art.
I forgot you were streaming. I probably wouldn't even have opened that can of worms if I remembered you were streaming.
No, this is great. This is peak. I'm gonna turn this into a video. This old chunk is gonna be a clip on the channel.
I mean, at that point, just like be like, yeah, watch this video of Brandon Sanderson, because that's my point.
But yeah, that's fair.
The coding aspect is, again, it's where do you draw the line on art? And I guess, again, I'm not a super good programmer. Like, I basically do scripting. Because for like the stuff I do, I'm not like making huge interactive programs. I do some degree of programming, but I'm not making, stuff that I have to worry about how all these different modules interact. And to me, it's all super utilitarian.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I'm just trying to get it to do what I want it to do. I don't care how I get it there, as long as it does what I want to do the way I want it to be done. And to me, a degree of how fast it does it. But
Yeah.
which is somewhat important because sometimes I have to do things in weird ways to do that. Well,
That's
weird
so
ways for
fucking
me,
funny.
but probably not weird ways for actual programmers.
You forgot that we were streaming this. So
I
fucking-
forgot you were streaming.
That's so fucking funny.
Because like I, it's one of those topics that's controversial enough that I'm like, I'm not sure I really want to just stand out and discuss this in a public forum.
No, it's
because
fine.
I'm aware that it's a controversial take to be like, you know what? I think the way you code a game isn't part of the art. But you know what? I'll concede that it is possible to make it part of the art of the game. I'm just saying the general way that people are doing it in base engines. Again, I'm not actually super familiar with game dev, so I could be wrong about this.
Yeah.
Where I feel like, a lot of it, you're using functionality that's sort of inherent to these engines. The movement, all that stuff. I feel like a lot of those engines, that's kind of built in, isn't it? Like, you
Yeah.
see like all the Unity and Unreal Engine asset flip type stuff.
A
There's
lot of
all
that
this
is just kind of
movement,
built in.
and a lot of that movement is the same types of movement you see in other games that are made in them. Those games have just refined it better.
Yeah.
But like, to me, that's not part of the art. The art is how you've gotten what you've done with it, not how you got it to do it. Right? If that makes sense.
Sure. Okay, I can see that.
And so if you got it to do it using AI, to me, that's not necessarily a huge negative. Again, in isolation of all of the other issues of AI,
Yeah.
we're ignoring,
We're ignoring a lot of
other
problems.
issues.
Yeah.
There's a lot of problems that you have to ignore for that.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm ignoring those is because I do feel eventually it will get to a point where those aren't really big issues. Will that happen anytime soon? I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
But
I don't
like,
think
you
so,
know,
personally.
we're already at a point where you can run these things on your computer, and when it comes to the data they were trained on, that cat's out of the bag, right? Like, you can't untrain these models now, right? Like,
Yeah.
that cat's out of the bag, so it's like, you know. And also, to a degree, I think the coding stuff, stealing that stuff is a little less egregious than stealing the people's art.
Yeah,
But
I
like,
can agree with that.
it is still being stolen to it. I think some of it not necessarily because of terms of service loopholes with like GitHub and stuff, but yeah, like we're ignoring those issues.
Right.
With those issues included, I would prefer you didn't use them.
Yeah.
Just because it is inherently harmful at the moment. With how
I
they're
would
being implemented,
still
but-
like, regardless of everything, I would still strongly urge people to not use it, purely for the fact of I would rather someone struggle and build something that ultimately is not the best version of it, because then they learn from that and then move on to build something better. But a lot of that is, it brings up issues that we have societally, where, especially here in the Western world, there is a lot of failure-averse mentalities, and failure is a part of life. Even I knocked my mic, sorry. Even I feel this a lot, where I still get feelings of like, why bother doing something if it's not the best possible way? If it's not the best possible, if you can't do your best, why bother doing it? Because like, it feels bad to fail. And growing up, for me especially, I don't know how well you can agree with this considering you grew up in Canada, but there was a lot of heavy emphasis on, you failed, don't even try again because you've already failed. And
yeah, there was a degree of that growing up. I think that's just an issue with, again, like, Canada isn't that different from the U.S.
Yeah,
in
like
the regard of
yeah, it's not that different, but there are
yeah.
specific differences, and I don't know what those
there
are.
Definitely are. There's a
Yeah.
bit more of a safety net in Canada, you know, but like, it's not. Especially as a child, though, it's like, you know, yeah, I definitely had those issues. I still have those issues.
Yeah, dude, I
guess I
still
just don't
remember.
see
I still
not
remember
being able
crashing
to-
out in 4th grade because we were doing division worksheets, and I was crying on the floor, and I got put into counseling after that. It was bad. But maybe that's just a problem with me and my brain goblins. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I would rather someone just learn, you know, and I wish this is getting into like big societal things. I wish it was just more okay to fail at things and learn from those failures. And you see that in a lot of professional industries. Like you see blue collar people, you see the aviation industry, you see stuff like that. It's like they still have that mentality of like, oh, I would rather you learn from your mistakes than never try again. You guys are talking about game engines? I mean, yes and no. There's a lot of conversations. There's a lot of things happening in this conversation. Yeah, it's just two idiots rambling. Yeah. We're just trying to fill space. I got the armor set that I wanted. I remember,
yeah.
I don't remember how to get it properly set up because it wasn't attack up XL, it was attack up large. And the set on its own is only attack up medium. So hold on. Status.
Throw some decos in there, right?
Yeah, but this set only has 4 deco slots and you need 5 to, I think I need to get a specific item. I don't know. I will look this up later and refine it to be attack up large. Right now I'm exhausted and
well, you don't even have a trinket, so
yeah, I don't have a thing. There's whatever. I will figure this out off stream because right now I've done so much goddamn thinking that my brain is pulsating. And I would like to calm the fuck down for a bit and get some food before movie night starts. But this was a great conversation. I want to cut a lot of this out and use it for videos later. So thank you, Aaron.
Sure, just send me the end cut so I can make sure I'm not
Sure.
saying anything blatantly wrong in it, because there's a chance I've said incorrect statements.
I can just put... yeah, no. I've also said incorrect things.
I have not
That's
fact-checked
fine.
anything we said because I thought we were just having a conversation. I forgot you were live.
No, yeah, no. It's fine. We are just having conversations. It's fine. Plato and Socrates of our time. Abso-fucking-lutely. How many people have even been watching this fucking stream? Golly, let me see
More
this.
like Play-Doh, as in, you know.
Oh, there were 4
Play-Doh
people
and-
at one point. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool on a random Wednesday. Hey, I'm gonna try to be back again on Wednesday next week, so if you want more of this, you probably won't get it next week, but you'll get more Monster Hunter. Sagandis. Yeah, if you want more Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, I'm gonna try to make this a weekly thing. So yeah, be back then. And when Mugenics comes out, that bespoke game engine we were talking about, I'm gonna be streaming the fuck out of Mugenics. I am so excited for that game. I was watching an interview with Edmund and Tyler, the two main creators of the game. And they were musing with the podcast host or the interviewer where it's like, yeah, people's YouTube careers are going to start because of Mugenics. Because the same thing happened with Isaac.
That is true, actually. Isaac did make a lot of people's careers.
We would not be watching Northern Lion if it wasn't for Binding of Isaac. So, I don't think I'm going to be the next Northern Lion. I'm not trying to imply that. But if I can grow my streaming career by streaming Mugenics a ton and Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate a ton, I think that's the main thing with streaming that I found is I stress too much about what the next game I'm streaming is. So I really am only going to be streaming like 2 games. It's this and Mugenics, and that's it, just for my own mental. But yeah. Because this game is amazing, and there's a lot of stuff to do in it, so it'll take me a long time to get through it all. And I'm happy with that. Anyway, I've been streaming for nearly 3 hours. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I'll be back next week, hopefully. And, you know, we might have another brain-pulsating conversation like this. I don't know. We'll see.
Probably not, because I'm going to be cat sitting for my brother, so I'm probably not going to be hopping on Discord calls because I'm going to be at his house.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. One of the Monster Hunter games I haven't played yet. It's very good. I would highly recommend. I'm emulating it right now. I'll just be upfront. I'm emulating it right now but you can pick it up on the Switch for like $10. It's super worth it.
I'll say.
Yeah.
I do also plan on joining in on that emulation, but for
Let's
legal,
go.
actually, no, I don't even need to say for legal reasons I own the game. I do fucking own the game.
Yeah,
It's
no,
sitting right
I
next to
also
me.
own the game.
I have the fucking box with the card in it right next to me.
Where do you think I got this fucking data? Like, I backed
That's
up
true.
my own copy of the game. Anyway, have a good day, everybody. I'll be back next week with more Monster Hunter goodness.